One. Hello, and welcome to a special edition four-way. We're gonna be fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is JDUB and Friends, episode 32. This episode is going to be about the Super Bowl this coming up this Sunday. Actually, today's only Tuesday, so we jumped on a little early. But I have to my left here, or actually your right, my left, Bill the Fajita.
Hey everyone!
He's a Seahawks fan, so
Sorry
his
about that.
yeah, sadly his team's
You
not
don't
in
have
the
to
Super Bowl.
apologize for your fandom.
Below me, below me is Napum,
Hey, what's up?
and then to my other below Bill, on the screen is Levin. Levin is a Texans fan, and Napum is a Giants fan. So how you doing tonight, Levin?
Look, if I was a fan of a team that chose to not run with Marshawn Lynch on the goal line, I would apologize too. Anyway, yikes, I'm exhausted. I just pulled an absurd shift. I got a long story, but that's not for you guys to know about now.
All right.
I mean, we got time, right? I mean, no, it's not my podcast.
Unless Soccer's question is how was your day today, I'll go into it then.
Nope, not yet. We'll see how it goes though. So we have some big news that's happened in NBA and the NFL right now. Obviously, the Super Bowl is next week. Chiefs, Eagles again. Thankfully the Eagles actually made it back after a bad year last year, where we were doing really well and then we choked up in the playoffs and a few weeks before the playoffs. But we won't talk about that.
Oh no, a 1-year drought. How will I ever recover?
These poor Eagles fans, they've only been the most consistent franchise in the NFC over the last 20 years. The poor guys,
Only.
You really got to feel for them.
It's odd that, I've been alive since 1990 and we've been to the Super Bowl 4 times in my lifetime, so that's craziness.
I believe you guys are 3 for 3 in your last 3 head coaches have each made the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Which is...
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they went from Andy Reid's been to the Super Bowl with the Eagles, and then they went straight to Doug Peterson.
No, Chip Kelly was in between, but we.
There was a Chip. Yeah, Chip was in there.
The team was pretty good, even.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chip inherited a phenomenal roster.
Yeah.
And then he got rid of it.
Well, Chip be chipping.
Yep.
But he's a Raider now, boys.
Yeah, so that's a crazy choice. Yeah, Raiders got Carroll now and Chip Kelly, who expected that?
Wait, when did that happen? That happened recently?
Recently,
like yesterday or the day before.
Oh,
yeah.
So Chip Kelly is back in the NFL.
He's the OC for the Raiders. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That team is going.
I just want to hear Shady McCoy's opinion on it.
Oh, I love when Shady goes off on it. It's great.
Oh, he's gonna roast him. You already know.
The only hate greater than Shady's hate of Chip Kelly might be freaking Kendrick Lamar's hate of Drake. Like, it's the only.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kendrick,
right? Halftime show.
We can have a segment on that. I'm excited.
5 Grammys.
Yeah, he's gonna be great halftime show. So I would say the biggest news that happened in the NBA this week, obviously, was De'Aaron Fox is headed to the Spurs and Zach LaVine to the Kings in 3-team trade.
Yes, this was the most
greatest trade in all of NBA history.
That's
the greatest trade.
The biggest trade. Maybe not the big. No, maybe not the greatest.
This is the biggest scam, and yet it's completely overshadowed by the biggest dead brain moment in the Mavs deciding I don't want Luka Doncic, a top 5 player, because he's 10 pounds overweight.
Yep. Yeah, that was
not for that, we would have had we would have had a Phantom Thief worthy heist on our hands right there.
Yeah. The San Antonio Spurs got De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin.
You were just not trying to talk about Luka, huh?
That'll come next.
It's because
really hiding the Luka trade here.
Yeah.
It's because I'm a Spurs fan. Of course he's gonna bring
I gotta get him.
Okay, I got you.
I gotta make sure he gets in first, and then we'll talk about the Lakers because the Lakers, not as important. But I think the Kings got so much for this trade. It's insane.
No, they didn't. No, let me explain to you how. Okay, so first off, they got a pick swap for 2031 with the Wolves, which might be good actually. Maybe it's
Mhm.
good, but it's not an extra pick.
I'm sorry, but futures that go as far out as 2031 just aren't real.
Yep.
Like, it's just like-
literally scouting.
But
sixth
that's
graders
how
right
the
now.
OKC profits on their trades.
That's how
We
they
want
got
3
SGA.
picks from 6 years in the future.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how they got SGA chicken. Anyway, so there's that.
Two.
There
Yeah.
is the 2027 Spurs pick, which is theirs. That is one
Yep.
they're giving up. And the
Yep.
last one is the Charlotte pick, which apparently it's not going to stay as a first rounder. It's going to be converted into 2 second rounders.
Yeah.
So really, they only got 1 first round out of this. And
Yeah,
Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
Thank
They
God
got.
we had the Bulls. The Bulls wanted their pick back, so the
Mhm.
Spurs gave it back for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Kings
So,
got
yeah.
Zach LaVine, City. I always mess up his name. We're just going with City. They got the 2025 first round pick, the Hornets, which Levin was just talking about. 2027 pick from the Spurs or via the Spurs. They got 2031 pick via the Timberwolves. 2025 second round pick via the Bulls.
It's a lot of picks.
Yeah,
A lot of picks.
Yeah.
2028
Yeah.
second round for the Nuggets, and then the Bulls 2028 second round pick too.
hmm
And then the Bulls
I mean,
just got Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and Kevin Huerter. And then they got their pick back
Yeah.
from Spurs.
Kevin Huerter. Honestly, I think it's good for the Bulls that they got their pick back. Because when I first initially looked at the trade, I'm like, all right, the Bulls just got fleeced for Zach LaVine, essentially. And
Yeah,
a bunch of picks they don't need. Yeah, but that's good.
No, they just embrace the tank. They know they're not going to go anywhere, and they're
Yeah.
at least they're smart enough to figure it out. I don't know what the Kings are doing. Do they? The Bulls literally had this same duo 2 years ago, and it didn't work.
yeah. We'll see how that all works out. But the biggest one of all time that was boneheaded for the Mavs, that even Duolingo actually roasted them on Twitter, which was pretty great.
No joke.
Yeah, they asked if they made a mistake.
Oh my god.
Oh, let's
That's
see if I can
funny.
find it.
But-
Let's see if I can find it.
Luka going to the Lakers is just such a Lakers move
There
to
we go.
just
Here we go.
snag like a young super duper star and be set for like another like 8 to 12 years.
Yep.
Mr. Chicken.
They do it all the time,
Help.
don't they?
I'm not a
Like-
basketball savant. Help me understand this in NFL terms.
Listen, this Luka trade is like
Is there a comparison?
I think there is. I have one, but I want to see what you got. Let me hear what you
I'm
want
thinking.
first.
I was saying it earlier. I was like, this is Josh Allen to the Rams and Cooper Kupp to the Bills. Like that is about the equivalency of what happened here.
I want to say Josh Allen for Dak Prescott. Oh, sure, he'll get you into the playoffs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he's injury prone, is a fraud, and
I mean,
well,
yeah, Dak is
Anthony
incredible
Davis
fraud,
stays,
yeah.
he had to get carried by Papa LeMickey.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
yeah, and what Jordan Davis is or Jordan Davis? Wow,
Anthony,
Davis. I don't know where I got Jordan from. Is like a few 5 years older than Luca?
he's
Yeah,
28.
I thought he's 30 now.
I thought he was
Smart.
30.
Yeah. The biggest
Johnson
thing
is
is
25.
they trade someone who doesn't condition for someone else who also doesn't
31.
condition.
Right.
Yeah.
AD's
But,
always
like-
hurt. So
But Luka's like country strong, you know?
Right.
He thinks
Oh,
he's
man.
Jokic. He thinks
He's on that
Jokic.
Gronk conditioning.
Markieff Morris. He's gotten traded more than anybody else in the NBA. It seems like every
He's a
trade, it's
bigger
like he's
journeyman
always
than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
he's everywhere.
he's played for like 8 teams, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, played for the
He's
Pistons. I
actually
remember
back
that.
on the Lakers.
Yeah. LeBron wanted to get rid of him. Now he got him back.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You
Luka.
need that 1.7 points per game.
Right. Yeah, Luka. Do you think that makes the Lakers better?
No, it makes them just the worst darn team in the league. Just a huge downgrade. Fire everyone.
Yeah.
No, obviously this is to get Bronny Jr. a ring before LeBron leaves because Bronny will never be able to carry a team on his own to a ring. So this is exactly what this kind of move is all about.
Yep.
They kind of set themselves to like be able to build a team for the next 10 years, essentially, because Russell's going to be there.
Yeah. Now the funny part about this whole trade is that Jason Kidd, who's the head coach of the Mavs, had no idea about it until the trade was finalized and was announced. How would that make you feel as a head coach, 11?
I don't know. I don't honestly. That's something I wouldn't think about. All I can tell you right now is, as a Spurs fan, on one hand, seeing the Mavs basically shoot themselves into irrelevancy is funny, but at the same time, you chose the Lakers of all people to stay relevant. We could have had them be mid again.
Yep.
But you just secured their relevancy for the next 10 years. Thanks, guys.
It'll be interesting to see just like how the rest of this regular season plays out because, in the short term, people have these like very big reactions. I do wonder how these two teams look like 2 months from now.
Exactly that.
They are not going to let this go, though. No
matter what. People are going to exclusively talk about this trade for at least the remainder of the next 2 seasons.
I'll give you the baseball
trade too. I'll give you. No, I mean like this will be like an everyday conversation for the next 2 years.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
This is like trading Shohei Ohtani for Aaron Judge.
It might be, honestly. I mean, maybe not to that proportion, but it's up there. It's the biggest trade in NBA history right now.
One's an actual legendary, once in a lifetime player, and the other's a fraud who cannot play when it matters most.
Damn.
This trade might be more one-sided than.
My team owns Aaron Judge in October.
True. This might be more one-sided than the Saints getting Ricky Williams in the draft and drafting or trading right away.
Ricky Williams trade.
Whoops.
Maybe even like the Herschel Walker trade. Yeesh.
That too. Yeah. You got a lot of ones that are like, ugh. Actually, we got some other stuff here that I was finding. Here's also the Duolingo if anybody wants to see it. Let's review your mistakes looking at the Dallas Mavs.
That's funny.
Pretty great. Yep, and Luka is going to be number 77, obviously.
Yo, hold on. Can we pause? Like, this is very important. And just because I'm looking at your screen and I feel like I'm being assaulted right now. Do you use Twitter in light mode?
On my I actually do on my laptop. I feel like it. I don't know if it just makes it pop easier on podcasts, but I don't know if it's actually true or not. I just haven't really messed around with it on this yet.
It's fair.
Yeah, I'm like
Myles Garrett to Philly.
Yep. So, next NFL actually has a couple things. Cooper Kupp announced on his personal Twitter that he will be. Let's see if they even have it on here. Nope.
No way.
I think the Rams have said
he's retiring?
Are going to. No, the Rams said that we're going to trade you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense for them, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wrong side of 30, injury prone. Former like Triple Crown winner.
But where's the loyalty? Like he helped deliver them a championship, right? Like
I think it's a money thing.
It's definitely a money thing. His contract is way
he's on the books for a ton of cash, so they're probably going to eat some cash, but they're also going to trade him.
I've got the funniest situation in my mind.
Where are you sending Cooper Kupp?
Giants.
We're gonna have sports karma. Now, let me make this clear. I'm not a fan of the other team, so Soccer and Chicken can attest to this. But I think it would be pretty fucking funny if a certain team deluded themselves into thinking, hey, we have all these problems. So you know what we could get to fix that? A competent offensive line, more defensive players, another wide receiver. Trade him to the Cowboys.
I actually think a really fun spot. No, Cowboys, no.
Check it. Hear me. I'm going for a meme here. Let me finish this.
Actually, wouldn't be a bad move for the Cowboys either.
Would it? I don't know if they can even afford him, right?
But that's the best part. Who cares if they can't afford it? I think Jerry's stupid enough to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, what's
But, okay,
surprising?
I'll give you a serious one though. I feel like he'll probably go to a team that actually could use some wide receiver support. Or
Mhm.
Chicken knows the right place. Chicken, you know what?
Mm.
Chicken, do it. Say the
I
place.
mean,
Say the place.
like he checks all the boxes for a Titans wide receiver.
There we go.
Wrong side of 30. Used to be amazing. Clearly on the
Man.
downswing.
Well,
I think it would be.
That is, in history proves that he's completely correct. Randy Moss, I mean, who else?
The team I want him to go to, I think it would be a lot of fun. I would love to see him on the Chargers.
Yeah.
Oh, just
I-
literally go next door.
Just literally, like, you don't have to move.
Yep.
you get to stay where you are. You even get to wear the same colors, really.
Yeah, potential man could use another wide receiver.
But like Justin Herbert could absolutely, he'd kill for a wide
yeah.
receiver that isn't terrible.
Yeah, I mean, he is the potential man after all.
Like, when your number one is Quentin Johnson or Lad McConkey, like
Mhm.
rookie Lad McConkey as your number one is a
Mhm.
bad situation.
Yeah.
I
CB
have one other team. I think it'd just be why the hell not for another fraud quarterback. How about let's send him to Jacksonville? Just send him to hell. Hey
Ouch.
Cooper, you've done so well for us. We're gonna send you a team that really needs you. We're gonna
I
send
mean,
you to
Trevor is
Jacksonville.
Trevor Lawrence really that bad?
I don't think he's that bad. I
don't
just
know if
think
he's
he's
that
But
bad.
he's just mid. He has not.
Yeah, he's
He
like-
is pretty
at all.
mid though.
he's like a
Like,
top 20
Remember,
quarterback.
he was
Yeah.
touted as a generational talent, and he just hasn't done anything. And it's not
Cooper
like he hasn't had good
Brian
defense.
Thomas Jr. Ooh,
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. almost saved my fantasy season by himself.
oh BTJ was awesome.
He's great.
So
Wh-
CB. Oop, go ahead.
I was gonna say, where do you guys think that Cooper Kupp will end up?
Denver could be fun.
Yeah. They.
Actually.
I think
See-
you guys said the best options probably already. Chargers and Bills. I'm thinking maybe.
Bills
Bills
would be
could
good,
use
too.
them.
I don't think
Yeah.
the Bills. I don't think the Bills
100%.
care.
Yeah.
They can afford them too. I'm pretty sure.
What do you think about the Vikings? They
I think the Vikings have
They have
bigger things
enough
to
wide
worry
receiver.
about.
Yeah, they got way more shit to worry about.
Vikings got to invest in that quarterback because I just feel like they have JJ McCarthy. So
Yeah.
He's coming back. I mean,
Yeah.
this was just playing with house money, pretty much.
honestly,
You had no business getting in the
JJ,
playoffs.
the biggest winner of Sam Darnold like turning into an absolute pumpkin is JJ
JJ,
McCarthy.
yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big win for the cheater.
Pats or Raiders? Actually, Patriots
Okay,
would
the
be
Raiders
fun.
would be
Yeah.
dumb to trade for
Yeah.
him now because they are absolutely not getting a quarterback this year. You shouldn't. You shouldn't draft one.
CBS Sports has the three options they think is the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I guess.
I mean, I guess they're moving on from Pickens,
Yeah.
so it makes sense.
But
Are they
Denver-
moving on
throw
from
to him.
Pickens already?
They've made him available apparently.
Wow.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
I like. Yeah.
He's talented, but he's kind of a head case. Let's be real.
Exactly.
Pittsburgh Bros.
Denver's their second option, which Denver would probably be a good enough team,
I
but
think that's a spicy pick for Bo Nix.
Mhm.
Pickens not worth the trouble. That I see that.
The slot. I mean, he just could be a slot. That's all they. I mean, Cup could just be a slot at this point in his career too. Could be like
I mean,
a
he's
Jason.
he's kind of been like in and out of the slot his whole
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
And just great at it, like phenomenal at it.
Yeah, they
I don't
could.
think the commies need it though.
Yeah, but I say Commanders are the third team. But I wouldn't. I think the Commanders are pretty set.
Yeah,
But,
they've got the Red Scare on their side already, and that's honestly enough.
yeah, scary Terry. The other one right now, that's big is Myles Garrett has requested a trade after 8
Now, this
seasons
is
to
the
the
one I
Browns.
see being a commie.
Right. He said, he said as a kid dreaming of the NFL I focused on was the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl, and that goal fuels me more today than ever, and that's why you stay with the Browns for 8 years. My love for the community of Northeast Ohio and the incredible fan base of the Cleveland Browns has made this one of the toughest decisions of my life. These past 8 years have shaped me in the man I am today. While I've loved calling the city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The goal is never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It has always been competing for and win a Super Bowl. With that in mind, I
Man.
requested to be traded from Cleveland Browns. So we'll see.
So, what NFC team
The
do you
commies.
think
Okay,
would go after him?
realistically, there's like 3 teams that would not get better if they went for Myles Garrett. Every other team should probably be hitting
In
up the
the
Browns GM.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You got to figure he won't stay in the division. Although, like, sending him to the Bengals would be insane.
Just have them terrorize your O-line for another 5 years, essentially.
Right?
Yeah.
If he stayed in the North, like went to the NFC North, I think any one of those 4 teams would be like just such a good move for them.
Yeah.
Like, I know Chicago's still a work in progress, but like, I don't know really what the Detroit Lions money situation is.
I think they might be tapped out.
But like, I know Green Bay's real young, and if they could get like someone like Myles Garrett on that D line, I could see that defense turning around and just being a much better version of what it was this year, which honestly is probably good enough for them to win the division in 2025.
Yeah, I don't see him staying in the AFC. I think he's going to be NFC bound. They're not going to keep him in the AFC just in case they'll have to run into him in the playoff. Well, never mind. They're the Browns. They don't make the playoffs. But NFC, I think it'll be. I think there's 3 teams that are going to take in the NFC. Like Nate said, I think it's going to be the teams that have the most draft picks right now are the Eagles. The Lions have a few. I think they'll be
You're
the
kidding.
second.
Can the
Eagles
Eagles
have the
afford
most
him?
picks?
You
Well,
can't
like,
afford him, dude. Don't
we
delete
could-
yourself.
Hold on. So right now, all we need, well, I don't know who exactly all has the Mills picks, but I know we have a lot coming in the next couple of years because we've actually got a lot of picks last couple drafts from.
You guys have the cap
if you guys
space?
move that guy that you just got from the Jets, I forget his name, Hicks,
Yeah,
I think, right? You
yeah,
can
well,
fit him on the team probably.
I think we're gonna move away from Bradbury this offseason, which that would get a lot of cap space gone. I think that would be part of the. I think that'd be part of the trade for sure. Is if we trade Bradbury and a couple picks for Garrett, but I think that's the only way that that we go for it for sure. Because I feel like maybe they move Slay, but I don't, because we have
I could see that.
Cooper,
Wait, is
DeJean.
Pepsi an Eagles fan too?
What's that?
Looks like it.
Yeah,
my God.
Tyler is an Eagles fan. Yeah.
Ugh.
There's so many.
Yeah.
They're taking over.
Yeah. The Lions, I think, would have to give up. I'm a guess that they're going to want a running back or a defensive player of some sort because I feel like if they're going to start trying to build, well, we'll see where Deshaun Watson, what happens with Watson next year, if he's going to stay as a Brown or if they're going to bite the bullet and draft a quarterback this year.
Whoa, you know who has the 3rd most cap space in the NFL this next season? According to Spot Rack, the Commanders.
That's what I've been telling you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Commanders and the Chargers are also in the top 5.
This is how like the commies can make up for trading their defensive guys a couple of years ago. I forget what's his name. Was it
The defensive end, right?
yeah.
Oh, they got rid of both of them. They got rid of like Montez Sweat. They got rid of.
They decided to keep Jonathan Allen, and they got rid of the other 2 guys.
Yep.
Yeah, they got rid of like 2 of their D linemen.
Yeah.
Isn't one of them on the Eagles right now?
We got one of the wide
them
receivers.
is on the Niners.
Yeah, we got Dotson on the wide receiver, which is funny for random trivia for everybody. We actually have an ex-Giant and Saquon Barkley. We have an ex-Commander and Dotson. We also have a Dallas and Goddard. So, we have all four other 3 teams from the division on our team.
Right.
Funny.
Up here.
I think though, I think you could the Commanders, Eagles, Lions are definitely going to run. I don't know. 49ers maybe to put with Bosa, but I think Bosa's going to be gone this year. I think he's going to be.
You think Bosa's gone? I
think
really?
I think he wants to go.
Yeah.
I think they should trade each other. trade Bosa for.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Wow. I think Nick Bosa would honestly die on the spot if he was told that he'd be getting traded to the Browns.
Yeah,
I think he would just straight up like spontaneously combust.
Very
I
true.
yet to see where there's a problem with this personally.
yeah, yeah. I just don't see many. I don't know. He's not in the crazy thing. How old is Myles Garrett now? He's in his 30s.
He's like 29 or 30 maybe. The
29.
Niners can absolutely be the one of the top 3 teams in the NFC next year. Would not shock me at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, barring another injury.
Because the Niners, aside
Wow.
from Detroit, were among the most injured teams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like losing a CNC does a lot of damage, I've heard.
Yeah. They lost a lot
Atlanta.
of players. Yeah, Atlanta. So I'm looking at this New York Times website. They have 10 teams, which I didn't expect. Atlanta Falcons basically give up a first round pick and a 2026 first round pick at Garrett.
The
Buffalo
thing is, the Falcons
Bills.
aren't really a contender.
No, they're that's why I'm saying it's gotta be Eagles or like the Lions or somebody like that. The Bills, maybe. I mean, they need more. I don't know. I guess they need a little bit more help on the offense too. But yeah, Von Miller's is, I think he's getting about to be done anyway.
Absolutely a terrible contract by the Bills.
Yeah,
Still crazy to me that they signed him when he was like 31, already over the hill to like a 6-year contract. That was the biggest head scratcher.
Yeah, I don't see the Bills going after it. I think he's close. Chicago Bears.
I could see Bears for Myles Garrett. Like that. I mean, they're already a pretty strong defense.
Man,
and I think that could be good. Yeah,
that was a big trade at the one time. Khalil Mack.
Oh, the Khalil Mack trade. Yeah,
that was massive, and then kind of died off. Yep, there's the Detroit Lions. That would actually be a good option right there. Hendon Hooker's pretty good. And Browns definitely need a quarterback because I don't think Deshaun Watson's the future for that team.
Imagine Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett.
No.
On the Cowboys. Oh my God.
I don't even want to think about that opportunity.
That's
terrorizing the Giants O-line. I don't need that.
Man, honestly, it would be enough to put the Cowboys back into like playoff contention. I believe that.
Yeah,
they're a good offseason away from getting back to where they were just at, like 12-5, probably.
So a first round exit.
Yeah.
I mean, if not for nothing, if Dak doesn't get hurt, I think they're still like a 9-win team this year.
Yeah,
they still get smoked by the Texans, though.
Packers,
probably.
Colts, Chargers. Ooh, no, that would be a good one. The Chargers. I could see. Well, they got Joey Bosa.
Chargers would be great.
Yeah,
I'm saying every team should be asking about Myles Garrett.
Right, there's not a single team. The only team that they wouldn't trade him to is like the Steelers, the Bengals, and
the Ravens. Yeah.
That is literally it.
And the Chiefs.
And the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I don't even think that the Chiefs are off the board here.
No,
I'm hoping they're not.
I don't think there's too many teams. Yeah, I don't think there's too many teams off the list.
Because if you're gonna get a haul, and the Chiefs are offering a haul, it's not like Cleveland is in a position to say we are competing with the Chiefs. So that kind of trade really doesn't.
So what? They should start preparing for like the 2040 draft when Mahomes finally retires.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guys, we want your 2040 first round pick.
I mean, and Reed's good with quarterbacks, and Carson Wentz is a backup. So if anything ever happens to Mahomes, I mean, Wentz is not a bad backup to have right now.
It would be insane work if during this Super Bowl, Mahomes goes down and it ends up being Carson Wentz against the Eagles. What a weird, terrible thing.
Judah put you in the cuck chair. The spotlight over you.
Yeah. That Eagles team after the Super Bowl is just a mess because of Wentz and trying to get over that drama that he had and quitting on the Eagles.
Kenny Pickett in a first.
Yeah.
Seems like a fair trade.
Yeah. That I would. Yeah. Kenny though. I don't know. We'll see what happens though. I mean, we got a lot of options.
Tanner McKee is better than Kenny Pickett.
Oh yeah, definitely. He showed a lot more options this year. Of his arm strength better. He can move a little bit better than Pickett can. But I guess we'll find out.
Pickett's only the number 2 because of pedigree. Literally nothing else.
Yeah, we
So I got
traded
a
for him.
question.
Good.
You got a question?
How much time have we gone into this so far?
I don't even know. Let's see. We were on for 5 minutes, about 30 minutes.
And we still haven't actually gotten to the Super Bowl.
No, I figured
Well,
you
we're
know.
talking about very important football and
say.
basketball news.
I know. It's
Yeah.
just like this is the Super Bowl podcast. You got to get to it.
I'm
at
working
some
on
point.
it. I'm working
It's
on
not our fault that it's been a huge news week on top
Yeah.
of everything.
Huge news week this week.
If it
We didn't
wasn't
even
for-
get to talk about the Pro Bowl yet. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the most important
Irony.
part. How could I forget?
So, yep. As I told them before.
Forgot the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, right. So did the NFL. Now, I usually do 5 questions, but as you can see, there's 4 of us, so 3 questions are going to be this week. And you know, I'm starting with a Mount Rushmore question for all y'all. I'll be all different Mount Rushmore questions, but we'll start with Bill. Bill, what is your Mount Rushmore of sports video games?
Mount Rushmore of sports video games.
Whoa,
All right.
whoa. This is huge.
This is crazy. So,
This is
like,
one
I'm
of them.
thinking,
I know
I'm
one of
thinking
them.
globally.
Wait a
here.
minute.
I'm thinking globally here.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. You got a FIFA
Um,
game in there.
Listen, I don't know FIFA, but I will say whatever the consensus best FIFA game is has to be on the list.
Mhm.
That's just like a nationwide thing. 2K5,
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, wait a minute.
NBA 2K5.
I have that one. Yeah.
Let's see. That's 2. 3 is this one's kind of cheating, but any backyard sports game.
Knew it. I knew it.
Like I'm literally playing backyard football right now. It is just so good. Yeah, 2K5 exactly. The one with T.O. on the cover. And then my number 4 is Tony Hawk's Underground.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like that.
That's a good choice right there for Fire Brothers. I agree with all those.
That's just mine.
That's right. 11. Your Mount
Alright.
Rushmore is
Same
Mount
topic.
Rushmore of
Oh.
sports jerseys, actually.
Ooh.
Wait, are we talking about
Any
players
sports.
specific jerseys or the teams?
Any
Only.
team jersey that you think is the
Alright.
top 4.
So if we have to basically go by aesthetic at this point, I'm gonna tell you right now,
Mhm.
the Spurs are one of mine. Obviously, it's a huge bias, but you may as well say the Raiders too because they're the same. But
Silver
Okay.
and black. It's
silver
a
and black is
classy
a
look.
good combo.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pick one I never thought I want to pick, but I got to admit I do like the Green Bay green jerseys. They're
Mm.
just classic, and it's a perfect shade of green.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I can find that.
Since I'm sticking to green, I'll also say Dallas Stars jerseys. The
I
green
do
ones.
like.
Burn this mountain to the ground.
I like it. Wait, don't worry, I'm not gonna say
JK.
the Celtics. I'm not gonna say the Celtics next. I don't.
Speaking of another green.
The 99
No,
Stars did have a nice jersey.
they had.
That
Good. I
cream.
mean, I also like their like dark jerseys that they got now with like neon trims.
Mm.
Those are great. I don't know if they actually glow in the dark though.
Really not.
No, wait,
They're
they
not
do.
fancy.
I think they actually do. Like the actual player ones do. Whatever. Last one. I'm trying to think of the last team with like a really, really
Ooh.
good jersey.
Is it going to be the Steelers Bumblebees?
Oh,
God.
Oh no.
No. I'm not
What
gonna pick
about that like god awful Giants uniform that they
Oh,
had?
Won
Like
the
their
first game
retro,
this year. I don't know
The
where
one-
they even get
yeah.
those from.
the khaki pants, like the fucking State Farm uniforms.
Yep.
Those are awful.
Yeah, apparently they were like throwback jerseys, but they can keep those. in
Yeah,
the
throw
past.
them back in the river where they
throw
got
them
'em.
back into wherever they got them exactly.
Ugh.
Shit. I'm
No.
trying to think of like a really good final one night.
Not as
You
bad
know
as
what?
the Eagles.
Not. I'm gonna. I got nothing for the last one, so I'll just pick something that came to mind first. I like the Saints color rush jersey because of the gold letters.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
If I come up with another one in my head, I'll let you all know. But that's what I got for now.
Sounds good. All right, Napalm. This one I couldn't think of anything that was kind of connected to anything, but it's kind of connected to what we're talking about tonight. Really
Okay.
connected, actually. But what is your Mount Rushmore of football movies?
Football what?
Movies.
Or what?
Movies.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans.
Mm.
What's that one that had The Rock in it? You know what I'm talking about with his little daughter.
Are you talking the game plan?
The game plan. I'm gonna throw that in there.
I don't know if I ever saw that one.
What else? Well, I can only name like 2 movies.
I got one. I got one in mind.
What about the classic?
I'm trying to remember the name of the movie where they were in jail. Oh my god.
Longest Yard?
Oh,
Longest Yard. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, not even close. That's definitely in there. And
Tyler, isn't that a show?
I think there might be a movie as well.
Yeah.
what do you say? The Replacements?
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, there's
Replacements is good.
I was about to say The Replacements. Yeah. But Friday Night Lights
Replacements
is
is
probably
good.
in there also because it's Mount Rushmore.
You mean
Classic.
Mount Rushmore JoJo characters, dude?
I think Rudy is pretty
Yeah.
underrated there too.
Yep. Waterboy.
What?
Another good one.
Oh, you mean them mud dogs, baby?
So, Bill, this is the question I told you you'd probably laugh at.
Yeah.
Since you are a nurse, and this also has to do with your Seahawks because you, for some odd reason, didn't run with Marshawn Lynch at the 1-yard line.
My heart.
Yeah. If you had to cut off one body part, but it guarantees that your Seahawks win the next 7 Super Bowls. So, like in a big dynasty, the best dynasty ever, which body part would you cut off and why?
Listen, whatever Mike McDonald needs me to cut off to guarantee that, Mike, you just let me know, and I'll do it for you, buddy. It's as long as it doesn't kill me. Mike, my body is yours. Like for 7 Super Bowls.
Clip that.
7 Super Bowls.
Yeah, 7. That's tied with Brady.
Clip that and send it to Chelsea.
Take what you need. Like
whatever you need.
It's all right.
I mean, I totally get it. I
feel like that's might be the only correct answer.
Just whatever you need. I mean, you could get away with it.
Chicken disability check ready.
You could get away with an ear at this point. Mick Foley made it without an ear.
I'll give up a dang kidney. I don't care.
Okay. I was thinking fingers. I was thinking body parts.
Listen, for 7?
Yeah.
7 ring? Like that's like if I was told that like I would have like Mahomes level ruining the NFL's parody circle
from him too. Those would be his rings you're taking from him too.
That's right. It's like a double dub.
This would be worse than the Cavs Warriors finals every year.
Oh, no. Seahawks Chiefs for 8
Chiefs
years in a row.
Seahawks Chiefs. Seahawks Chiefs.
Be even better. It'd be even better if you were the only one that knew that you guys were going to win the Super Bowl every year for the next 7 years.
I imagine that would be a stipulation. It's like I wouldn't be allowed to tell anybody.
Yep.
But I would get season tickets. Like if I'm cutting off a body part, then you gotta give me a little something.
They'd be like, "Chicken, what happened to your leg?" I fell downstairs.
Yeah, I walked into a door.
Got a paper cut.
So, ironically, we were talking about this earlier. 11. What does the NFL need to do to fix the Pro Bowl?
Honestly, man, I don't think you can fix the Pro Bowl. It's just.
I was about to say, is there anything they can do?
The only thing I could think of is if you gave it a similar treatment to like the other Pro Bowl equivalents. All-Star games,
Mm.
put it in the middle of the season, and just let it be silly. Like, make it a universal bye week for everybody.
Mm.
Especially if they want to
Okay.
like actually apparently they want to extend the season again. As like
Yeah, I
JJ
think
Watt,
they do
JJ
want
Watt
to
said
add a
they're gonna
week,
do
but I
that.
think they'll add a bye week.
Yeah, and I think how about you have the Pro Bowl like towards the end of the season, like say, we have Thanksgiving and such, but enter December. I think that could be a rough stretch.
Mhm.
And if they want to have Christmas time as like they want to make it their day now, why not just make that week the bye week before the final stretch?
Could be.
And you can just have the All-Star game there, which is most of the season's done. We've seen most of what players can do. You can have this thing locked up by Thanksgiving time
Mhm.
and just
I
have it there.
I almost think that they should do the Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
So then you don't have like players sitting out from like the best teams,
Right.
unless they want to or whatever. But
Mhm.
I think it should be after. The fact that they just do like a 50-yard flag football thing, I think that's a fun exhibition match. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Mhm.
The thing is, it's just like nobody, like the players are just there to like. At this point, I think it's kind of perfect the way it is. It's not obstructive to like the NFL
Mhm.
as it is. None of the challenges are like things that are putting these players in harm's way. Like,
Mhm.
it's literally flag football. They're there to have a good time and just kind of like show off in front of fans. I kind of think I think they like nailed it with the current Pro Bowl setup.
Mhm.
Like, I wish there were more like, maybe if it was like a little more consolidated, because I think it's like over like 5 days right now, Pro Bowl week.
Yeah.
I think if they consolidated it down to like 3 days and it's like 2 days of like physical challenges and then like the flag football on Sunday, I think that's plenty good. Because like you're never ever going to see a traditional football game again in the Pro Bowl.
Mhm.
Just it too high of an injury risk,
Mhm.
and I mean the quality of play. You might as well just go see a USFL game at that point in time.
Good point. What if in the Pro Bowl, let's just hypothetically speaking, what if they do like a NFL USFL type like game, just like the best Pro Bowl, like instead of doing AFC NFC, they could do like
That's like coughing
NFC.
baby versus hydrogen bomb.
Yeah.
This is like Usopp versus any major villain in it ever.
Usopp versus all 5 Gorosei.
It'd be funny though.
God.
All right.
Wait till Elbath.
Naphem. Excuse me, I get a drink. My throat's kind of
Yep, you're good.
Give him a JoJo question.
dry. Now I know my answer for this because I didn't expect this, and I think you, Bill, and Levin probably the same answer. But who in your mind was the most surprising Super Bowl winner of all time?
The most surprising
Yeah.
Oh,
of all time.
Yep.
Rams, Los Angeles Rams,
Really?
or the Giants in 2011.
That's
2011 Giants is a good answer.
Which Rams team? Because
This most recent one, like 2021,
with
where
Stafford.
with the win over the 49ers. That was huge, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely didn't pick them to even make the Super Bowl that year, let alone even get into it. I mean, win it, so,
I think
yeah.
I truly think 01 Patriots,
Yeah.
when they beat the Rams, may be one of the biggest like upsets out there.
It's crazy how everyone who never watched football back then would rip you apart for even suggesting such a thing.
But it's true. Like,
It is
I
true.
mean,
It is true.
like really, like, who is this Tom Brady guy?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
like that's also like 25 years ago, so I guess like doesn't really count as recent memory.
Yeah. The Rams were the greatest show on turf in that time period too.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Facing a team with no quarterback, yeah.
the Rams were incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Facing a bunch of like no-namers.
Yeah, the only other team that I was going to say was the Giants that beat the 18-0 Patriots.
Yeah, 2007 Giants also.
Yeah, that's
Oh, that 2011 year caught me by surprise, man. I did not see it coming at all.
no, nobody really did at that point, but
It's because the Giant, like, outside of those 2 runs, the Giants were just such a mediocre team,
Oh, completely.
and it's so crazy, like how you catch lightning in a bottle, and that's all it takes.
Mhm.
Is just all you need is to show up and catch 4 games on fire. That's all you
Definitely.
need.
And that's what they did.
Got
in the tournament, win 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Joe Flacco's Ravens too. Like that.
Mhm.
I mean, I know they pride themselves on their defense, but that defense really wasn't great in that postseason. Joe Flacco, had
Was just lighting up that postseason for some reason.
I mean, that game against the Broncos, where it was just that one went to double overtime, and it was just fuck it, chuck it for 6 quarters. Like, just crazy work.
Yeah. Bill. Now, if these 4, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay, make sure I got it right. If these 4 fictional football players made it to the NFL, who would have the best stats from best to worst?
Okay.
No.
These 4 players: Paul Crewe, Willie Beeman, Bobby Boucher, Forrest Gump.
Bobby Boucher, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Bobby Boucher is a borderline superhero.
What was the first one again? You said
First one I said was Paul Crewe from Longest Yard.
It's Longest Yard.
Okay,
Also
yeah.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's Bobby Boucher. Was he a linebacker or was he a D lineman?
He's
I think he
technically a
might have been a
linebacker.
Yeah, I think he was a linebacker. Shane Falco, maybe.
Replacement.
I think Bobby Boucher would have because they definitely use him as a pass rush specialist.
Mhm.
He would be just an insane off the line rusher, straight up. Like he would have a 25 sack season.
That'd be impressive. Would Willie Beeman do better in the NFL or Paul Crewe?
Willie Beeman or who?
Paul Crewe from Longest Yard.
Wasn't Paul Crewe an NFL starter?
Technically, I think they said he was in the movie.
He was an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I think so.
Got in trouble. I don't know. What did he get in trouble for? Gambling or something like that? So I guess
point shaving.
Technically,
Mhm.
the correct answer is probably Paul Crewe.
Yeah,
because he was a starting NFL quarterback.
Yeah, well, Willie Beeman was really good. For anybody, any given Sunday for anybody that hasn't seen it with was Willie.
Yeah, sounds like you got to throw in Forrest Gump at the bottom. I'm guessing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that boy, he can run, but
that's about it.
It's about it.
Ain't the sharpest crayon in the box, you know.
True. All right, 11. Question for you for third last question. Well, your last question anyway. Now, one of these teams has definitely had an NFL team at one point, but the other 3 haven't. What rank these cities that need a Super Bowl not Super Bowl football team from most to least? Salt Lake City, St. Louis, Portland, or Columbus.
Yeah. Columbus, Ohio?
Yep. Just because they have a hockey team already.
I might put that one on the
bottom.
bottom.
They do. That's right.
Yeah. They got the Blue Jackets. They'll be fine. My Stars beat them.
Does Ohio need a 4th NFL team? Talk about a true factory of sadness.
Right.
Look,
right in the middle.
I would only allow Columbus if we could somehow throw them into the AFC North.
Oh, God.
I will not accept them in the NFC under any circumstance. But I'm picking St. Louis. They deserve a football team.
Mm-hmm.
I should know since the Texans were robbed by that sellout Bud Adams.
Go Battlehawks, baby!
So would you?
Battle.
So would
that's my one. So who are my remaining ones?
Salt Lake City and Portland.
Just bad football.
The mean Blazers are not helping them at all, and I'm pretty sure that their football team won't help them much either. I'm
Probably
putting
not.
them at 3, so I guess Salt Lake City. Why the fuck not? The Jazz at least are a little better.
San Antonio would be a great football city.
It would, but I
Yeah,
don't
it
think
would.
they would ever want to do another team in Texas, and I think they'd pick Austin, which they shouldn't. That's UT's territory.
Yeah.
Which you didn't even say San Antonio. I would have picked that first.
No, I was trying to think of random
Yeah,
ones, and
Yeah, I
Just
think
like-
San Antonio and St. Louis are probably like the two.
Mhm.
If the NFL were to expand and the team would form in the United States,
Dude,
it would probably be either San Antonio or St. Louis.
oh,
yes,
look at
yeah. Who doesn't want to play?
yeah.
Oh.
There's a chalupa.
I was gonna say, who doesn't want to play?
Yeah, lately they've been
One
kind of
team?
been teasing like an international team, right? Like maybe a Mexico City team or like a
Yeah.
Oh,
French
if
team.
you get London, Jacksonville,
Jacksonville
hashtag-
Jaguars, you are a London franchise.
Might as well be.
I mean, hey, at least they'll get sponsored by the Jaguar car company with their dumb new logo.
There you go.
All right, and the last question I have for the night, which is Naples.
Give it a JoJo question.
Rank these 4 Super Bowl moments from best to worst.
Oh no.
28 to 3. You got the Philly
That's
special.
number one. The Philly special? Wait. Like
Are we saying the best
Soccer
to
Soccer's trying
worst
to get you to
from?
Blaze's team. Don't buy
Best-
into it.
Wait, is this best to worst from like the loser's perspective?
yeah, or like just the greatest moment.
Just a great, like, what you think personally is the greatest
He
moment.
wants you to Blaze's
Okay.
team. Don't humor him.
Don't humor.
He's gonna like,
He
but
has my favorite player on there though.
He's gonna,
Right.
he's gonna start listing every other Eagles moment that he could think of.
so yeah, 28-3 Philly special, the helmet catch from the
Ooh.
Giants,
Yep.
Or
you
the-
already know.
or the Butler INT.
Okay.
Why couldn't I get that question, Soccer? I wanted this one.
Oh, okay. Helmet catch is number one.
Mm.
It's gotta be number one. That was a crazy moment.
Yeah, it's gotta be. I don't think there's
28 to
another.
3. What the heck were the Falcons doing? Just run the ball. Like what were they?
28 to 3 was 100% on
Falcons'
Kyle
fault.
Shanahan.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Mhm.
100%. Then I'll say Philly special. Why not? Right. And what was the fourth one again? I already forget.
Exactly. Me too. We don't have to bring it up.
Oh, don't
Yeah,
you
that's
dare.
That's
I
that
will
was, that was
make-
pain.
I
That
will
was
keep
pain
the
for everyone
receipt.
involved.
You know what's crazy? I would have owed a friend $60 if if that didn't happen.
Really?
That Malcolm Butler saved my high school ass.
My God. The 28 to 3. I mean, like that was. I think that game cemented Tom Brady as like the greatest quarterback of all time, like
Yeah.
without question. Because I think
Well
before then there were still like debates.
Mhm.
Because like I think that was like the first of like his like final 3 or 4 rings,
Yeah.
and it was like his first ring in like 10 years or something. So I
Mhm.
think that, or this, I think the Seahawks kicked that off, but like still, like that 28 to 3, man, that was like all Tom Brady. Like,
That
forget
was
the
his moment.
system.
Everyone remembers that.
That
moment.
was his moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Edelman's catch
and just
that.
cooking the Falcons.
Yeah.
The
a
Julio
quarter.
Jones catch is just nullified because of that moment. It's crazy.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that was a top 10 all-time NFL or Super Bowl catch.
Yep.
And it's just
Mhm.
completely overwritten by history.
All James White.
Yeah. And the Edelman catch
Hey,
that nobody thought was going
all-
to catch at first.
All white,
Yeah.
you say. That's not a problem in Boston. Haven't you been to a Celtics game before?
Oh my God.
Hold up. I just noticed. Dude, when did Chalupa get up there?
Oh, he's
Yeah, it popped up.
he just got here a couple of minutes ago. He's just
I
vibing.
didn't even see him.
Yeah. He popped up. So we are going to talk about the or Super Bowl, obviously.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah.
Don't
Surprise,
use his
surprise.
Microsoft Edge.
The Chiefs and the Eagles are in the Super Bowl this year. The Chiefs beat the Buffalo Bills 32-29. The Eagles destroyed the Commanders 55-23.
Yeesh.
Before we get into the Super Bowl picks, though, I guess we'll start with Bill. In the offseason, what do the Bills have to do to get better?
What do the Bills have to do to get better? They need, honestly, they need to address that defense, man. Because I don't care what anybody says. Like, they need to work on the trenches and work on their defense. Because during the Chiefs game, I know it was a 3-point game, but the Chiefs were clearly the better team. I don't think the scoreboard reflects an accurate representation of what happened. The Chiefs really dog walked the Bills up and down the field in a lot of aspects of that game. And I think a lot of it comes with the trenches. Deuces, Tyler.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, the thing is, they need to just maybe not run into Patrick Mahomes if possible.
That's the game plan. Stay away from Patrick Mahomes.
Now, Napalm, if you were if you're the Bills GM, is there any player that might be a free agent this year, or somebody that you would trade
kidding me?
for that you're like, I
Myles
want?
Garrett.
Right, Myles
Garrett. If I'm the Bills, yeah, I'm getting him some defensive ends because I think the best teammate that Patrick Mahomes has is Chris Jones. To be honest with you, he's always in defensive player of the year contention because guess what? He ruins teams especially in the fourth quarter.
And he shows up when it matters most. Exactly.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, completely. Chris Jones has been popping up.
Even Myles Garrett.
Kelsey has had a down year this year until the playoffs started. Then it kind of kicked up. But, Levin, do you think that offensive line is still a weakness for the Buffalo Bills, or do you think that it's more defensive? And
honestly, I feel like it doesn't matter what they do. They just can't beat Mahomes when it matters. I remember in the middle of the season, everyone was glazing Josh Allen, especially when he beat Mahomes. And I said, it doesn't matter that he beat him right now. You need to beat him in January. Even at least Joe Burrow can fucking say that. And I don't even like that guy, but it doesn't matter. You need to show up when it. If you
not for nothing, that's what Chiefs fans were saying too.
Yeah, and they're right. That's what it is. Oh, you won today. You won a battle, but you weren't winning the war, and they never win the war.
Nope.
That's why, like that's this. I mean, it's the same issue with the Texans, with the Ravens. Everyone who plays them in January, you don't beat them in January when it matters.
I agree.
And I may say, oh, it was the ref's fault or that the Texans lost, but there's a lot of it on them too. Both teams did not capitalize when they had chances to score. The Chiefs were not playing perfect most of the time. Because in the playoffs, one mistake, we've seen it many times. One mistake is all it takes for you to be done.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And in the Texans game, the Chiefs made many. And then in the Bills game, they made just enough for most good teams to not screw up on and capitalize on. So honestly, upgrade whatever you want. Give them every upgrade they want. I don't trust them to beat Mahomes anyway. It's just, and you might say you shouldn't say that. Wait till they play. Like, I have all the proof I need here. It's now it's just a legacy of just being owned by him.
Yeah. Do you guys think that the rushing needs a little help? Because I mean, other than James Cook, I mean, Buffalo doesn't really have a second.
Honestly, I don't think they rush enough.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. I'm pretty sure James Cook tied for the league lead in rushing touchdowns this year. So
I'm close to it.
Calling for rushing, really. Here's the thing: the biggest question mark that I have is how did they trade for Amari Cooper, and then I never heard from Amari Cooper again.
He only had what?
He had 4 receptions for 33 yards in that game.
Like he's been a ghost ever since they got him.
Yeah.
And really, that's
game.
I just don't think they knew how to
use him,
add him to the offense. Exactly.
Yeah.
Utilize
not good coaching, right
there. It's 100% on coaching, and I think the Bills are going to have to take a long, hard look at themselves in the mirror.
I mean, I would say the entire AFC needs to take a long, hard look at this rate.
Yeah.
Well,
there's some teams. Okay, the Bengals. I don't even know what was wrong with them.
Oh, they have an
offensive line.
They just don't have a defense. Like, why do you think they were saying give Myles Garrett to them? Because they fucking need it.
Yeah. But there's a lot of teams in the AFC that need to revamp their team essentially, just because the Chiefs are in their conference.
And some of them have tried. The Texans tried, and well, I mean, their offensive coordinator is dog shit, but still, their defense gave up more than they should have.
Yeah.
No, actually, what was that score again?
That
Texans-
score was
23.
32-29.
Oh yes, well, it's 32-29.
Honestly, that's a little better than I expected. But
Wait, did they get 29 points really?
Yep. Buffalo got 29. Yep.
Oh, the Bills. I thought you were talking about the
I asked for the
Chiefs,
Texans
Texans. Yeah, Chiefs,
score.
Texans.
Oh, sorry.
'Cause it was
Let me look.
Was that like a 24-21 type?
Nah, they lost by like
Let's see.
8 points,
Division
something like that, I think.
round. 23-14 was the Chiefs
23-14.
Texans.
something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
The
So, I
Texans
mean,
defense did a good job. It was just
They
Offense couldn't
held
move
them
the ball.
down. Remember,
Yep.
they took an intentional safety.
Yeah. Which
So
is
like they still like the fact that they were held them to 23 is a lot better. But god damn, that offense didn't do anything.
Yeah.
right.
I know that their offense was injured with like, oh, there's no Tank Dell, no
Yeah,
Stephon Diggs.
Forgot
but,
about that.
Mhm.
And also, like Nico Collins got hurt, and he kind of fell off after that, right?
He
And then
had
Tank
his
Dell got
moments
hurt.
in that game. He got a touchdown in that
Yeah,
game.
Stephon Diggs got hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, it's definitely
Yeah.
like heavy on injuries.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it feels like when the Chiefs slipped up that much, there's no excuse to not go for the kill.
Yeah.
100%.
Like
Yep.
I'm hoping they hire the right offensive coordinator because it looked like they can at least hang with them, which is better than what I could have said a couple of years ago.
I think you give the
Right.
Texans another crack at it, they get at least to the second round.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, again, they just need a better offensive coordinator because I think their
Yeah.
defense was doing it. I mean, they cooked the Chargers, but
Yeah.
And they need to not run into the Chiefs.
That too.
and then you look
That's
at
the
the
main thing.
Ravens, who like, oh, Lamar is like the greatest, having the greatest season, both him and Allen. And it's
Mhm.
like, you know what I call them at this point? The same thing I call Aaron Judge in baseball, regular season MV or merchants or champs, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
They show up for the regular season, come playoff time, they turn to a pumpkin when it matters most.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now-
don't get me wrong, Bills Ravens was like that was cinema. So, but fuck.
Cannot
What-
believe the Ravens lost that game.
I can't believe it. I can't believe our Andrews dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was insane.
That's like I think the equivalent is like imagine if Jason Witten did that in this situation.
Whew. That guy had.
Ooh.
I hate the Cowboys, but man, Jason Witten he would catch everything and anything, no matter where it
That's
was
the
at.
safety valve. That's
Yeah.
the
Yep.
safety valve.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, Matt Collins was their leading receiver that game with 3 receptions for 73 yards and 1 touchdown. Which, Matt Collins used to be an Eagle. But
Wait.
yeah,
How many turnovers did the Bills have?
Bills had 4 turnovers. Recovered. Well, actually, they had 4. They
Well,
recovered.
they fumbled 4
Fumbled,
times, but they
yeah.
didn't lose any.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually
I think the Bills won the turnover battle.
yeah.
Yep.
Because Patrick Mahomes had a fumble,
man.
but I don't know.
Just goes to show that you literally have to play perfect in order
To
to
beat the
them.
Chiefs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like
Like you blink
can still
once and
fuck up.
you're cooked.
Yeah.
well,
I
like,
mean,
let's go back to 2 Super Bowls ago. Soccer. Why
Hmm.
did you lose to the Chiefs 2 years ago?
we let off the gas. We
Not
started.
just
Jalen Hurts
that.
pick.
No, that's not the
That-
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that was it a fumble 6?
Yeah, that fumble 6 is what really.
Oh, I
happened.
thought. Oh, yeah, that too.
That and then like your special teams when you guys let Kadarius Toney, infamous Bozo,
Yeah.
take a kick out for like 60 yards or something.
Yeah, that
Wait,
one hurt
were
too.
the
Oh,
Giants
man.
Before that? No.
Yeah, that one
He
hurt
had-
too.
They had like 2 massive returns that
Yeah,
set.
he was an I'm him moment for like one game, but it didn't matter. It was the game that mattered the most in his
Yeah.
career.
I mean, listen, he did his own like little Percy Harvin speed run, and
Okay, so the correct answer, Soccer, was you left too much time on
That
the
too.
clock for them.
Yep. That too.
12
Yeah.
seconds is too much time.
Yeah, you could give them 5 seconds on the clock, and like that's plenty.
Mhm. The Bradbury hole didn't help us.
they'll get the 50-yard bomb plus the obviously not pass interference call to help push them just close enough afterwards.
Right.
It'll do.
Yeah. We'll see what happens this year. Hopefully it's better. The Commanders were the other team that that lost in the conference finals, which I don't think anybody expected the Commanders to make it that far. I was
I
shocked
actually
myself.
picked them against the Lions, funny enough.
Yeah.
But that was only against Lions. No other game.
Yeah. He had the upset of the year. If he was on he's not in our
Not in our pick'ems, no.
No.
Oh,
he would
yeah.
have cooked with gas that week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, the Lions were just such an injured team. Like
Exactly. That's why I picked them.
they were just due to get cracked by anybody with a competent offense. Also,
Yeah.
they turned the ball over 5 times, which
Yeah, yep.
Doesn't help
Yeah.
either.
I was
Just
talking to
is
the
Jared
other
Goff
Bill.
special.
Actually, before this, I was talking
we
to Sample Man. And I told him it's the same situation as the Texans game, but the difference was they didn't have they weren't facing an incompetent offensive coordinator. A
Yeah.
decent offense will capitalize on 4 turnovers.
Yep. Now, Napalm, as you're a fellow NFC East guy,
Oh, no.
what do you see?
right.
What do you think the Washington needs to do to get back to that point?
The world is their oyster right now because they essentially brought in a new regime, right?
Mhm.
New head coach, new everything, new quarterback, and they actually let a lot of guys go. Like you just said, they have a whole bunch
They're
of cap
in a
space.
perfect position to be just where they are, if not better. They're last year's Texans, really.
Yeah, so they're going to load up this free agency most likely, and then they're going to run it back.
They're this year's Spurs.
Now, do you think, Levin? Do you think that they have some options that they could make spots better? Like I know Ertz sounds like he's going to retire. Do you think there's a tight end out there that they could pick up that would fill that gap?
If this guy wants to get paid, he could totally go to their another former NFC East tight end, leaving Houston and going to Washington, Dalton Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might try to get the bag a bit, but he can get the bag and still be competitive with the commies. But I mean, I told you already what they got to do. They should totally trade for Myles Garrett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could.
Because, like I said, if they never, I get why making those trades for Sweat and what's his name? What's the guy that plays on the Niners? No, I'm forgetting his name.
Chase Young. Yeah,
Chase Young. Yeah, Young and
I
Sweaty.
get why. I'm certain those have turned into good pieces that they got right now, but you have those two guys. Who knows? Maybe you.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Chase Young turned into a freaking bum when he went to the 49ers.
Yep. Well, it's just further proof that defensive regime is fraudulent.
Yeah.
I'm just
But the thing is, they just got Robert Saleh back, so they're gonna
they're gonna cook again. Chicken, it's over for your division.
Yeah. No, the Niners.
And chicken.
NFC West runs through the Niners next year, for sure.
I wish Kubiak's son the best of luck in your division.
Yeah.
Get Myles Garrett. Maybe get Dalton Schultz if he wants to get money.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them easily taking him away because Houston can't pay what they can give him in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Bill, go ahead.
No. I just think you're probably gonna want to focus on some defensive linemen, but if you can't get Garrett, you can always buy some more like lesser known guys instead. For some
Garrett, but they also gotta fix that secondary because the Washington secondary has been kind of bad for like 10 years now. Yeah.
Even when they had what's his name from the Panthers,
Norman.
who I think
Josh Norman. The other side.
I think Josh Norman was like one of the most overrated corners I've ever seen play football. Like he had one decent season with the Panthers and he thought he was Richard Sherman 2.0, and dude was he got sunned every 2 seconds.
Yeah, and he always got bullied by King Henry. It was great.
He got bullied by everybody. He was ass the second.
No, every time he played King Henry, he always stiff-armed his ass at some point. It was great.
Good.
Yeah, they're other. I mean, Mikey Sanders still is a rookie this year. He played pretty well. Their other corner. Oh crap, what's his name? Yeah, that's how much of a. He used to be really. Oh, Mark Lattimore.
Well, Marshall Lattimore.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lattimore was another player that just played like total trash.
Yep. He fell apart after he got traded away from the Saints, but
Yeah, he definitely needs to learn the scheme.
yeah. Now,
I mean,
Bill,
they could keep him though. They could easily just pay him more. Wait, is he a free agent now?
I don't know if
No,
Marcus
I don't
Lattimore
think
is.
he is. They just traded for him, so he might not be.
Yeah,
Let's see. Byron Murphy's a free agent.
Because I
Marshall
think he's a
Uh,
rental. I think that's because I don't
DJ
think they gave up too much for him.
DJ Reed.
Is Sauce Gardner-Johnson the free agent?
Oh, that's a good one actually. That might be a good one.
Yeah, Lattimore's been in the league since 2017, so he's been in the league for 8 years.
Yep, he should be. He's technically in his prime right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. Bill, if you were the GM of the Commanders, is there many things you would change, or you kind of like stick with this kind of the same, hopefully staying with the same team?
I mean, you do have to build up that defense a little more. They absolutely got cooked in the trenches against the Eagles, and I think playing a team like the Eagles really does show where your weaknesses are. And like, listen, not for nothing, but like Bobby Wagner's 34 years old, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, dunking on him is not actually impressive work. But like you have players like you have like Jeff Okuda, who's going to be a free agent this year. Byron Murphy going to be a free agent. Even like I don't know, like a Tre'Davious White, I think is also a free agent. So like you have options at corner are absolutely there, and then like Hassan Reddick will probably be available. Might want to take a crack at his old team. Yeah, I mean, even like Josh Sweat is a free agent. So it's like you have a lot of pieces that you can probably get on relatively affordable contracts. Like you have like Jaron Reed, I think would be a good like piece for them. And there's a lot of like I think they could make a lot of little moves that add up to big change. Like I don't know that they're necessarily going to make a ton of like splashes, but I think like with a handful of like strong little moves and a solid draft, I think the Commanders are going to pick up right where they left off, and they'll be like a 12-13 win team next year.
Yeah, kind of like what the Texans did last year, right? I mean, like they picked up Joe Mixon, right, and they picked up who else? A bunch of other guys on defense.
Danielle Hunter.
They got Danielle Hunter. And honestly, there's no reason to believe that they won't. And I think a worst case scenario for them is literally just the Texans of this year, where quarterback has a down year, you end up with a lot of injuries, and you still somehow make the playoffs.
Well, they at least have one thing that the Texans don't: a good offensive coordinator who knows what he's doing. Can't say that about the Texans this year.
Hey, you know what? If you were to ask people about Bobby Slowick exactly 12 months ago,
I would have said the same damn thing.
I don't think most Texans fans would have, though.
I think you underestimated Chicken. You've been hating on this guy since the end of last year.
Also, I don't know if it is specifically like Cliff Kingsbury or is it just Jaden is just playing out of his mind and making all the reads. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, I think Cliff's system makes it incredibly quarterback friendly.
True.
And I think that, plus, like, you got Scary Terry, who's just been criminally underrated his entire career.
The Reds.
I'm saying.
Like, finally he has somebody who
forever.
Finally has someone who can just rip it, and I don't know. I think the biggest problem the Commanders have is the fact that they're going to keep the name.
Again. Yeah. Would you guys keep Eckler, or do you think he should be?
They're sitting on 3 running backs, right? Like
Send
Dan
Eckler
Campbell
to-
has to play 3 running backs.
Yo, send Eckler to Canada. That dude sucks.
Yeah.
Eckler is like beyond washed. Like
Get ready to learn XFL and E's, buddy.
just draft the kid.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, they're already sitting on Brian Robinson. They
Hmm.
got Nichols. He likes to play Nichols.
I
I
love
mean,
Brian
there's just no
Robinson.
reason to have Eckler, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm saying, hey, send him back to LA and go get Cooper Kupp, honestly. That's all I'm
that
saying.
might work too. Yeah. Anything about that? Before we get to the Super Bowl picks, because that'll be we get to it. I'm gonna ask all of you one question. Bill,
Bill.
what do your Seahawks need to do this off season to be either in the playoffs or heading toward a Super Bowl?
Offensive line, and offensive line. We need interior offensive line badly.
Mhm.
Our tackles are okay, but we have the 32nd ranked interior offensive line in the league, and
Seriously?
it's bad. It is an abysmal
I didn't know it was that
abysmal
bad.
Yeah,
situation.
it's worse than the Texans. I know. Hard to
Yeah.
believe.
And like the reason you know that is because I think Kenneth Walker
Mhm.
was like top 5 in hits behind the line of scrimmage, which
Ooh.
is just terrible.
Mhm.
Because he's such a great running back, although like getting worried about him too, because like he's pretty injury prone lately, and I think Zach Charbonnet is kind of a bum. There's a lot. I think Tyler Lockett's old now, so it's literally just Geno and JSN are like the two like consistent pieces on that offense.
Mhm.
So I hope that Mike Mack and John Schneider cook in the same way that John and Pete cooked at the beginning of Pete's tenure in Seattle, where
Mhm.
I believe Pete Carroll, between his first year and second year, set the NFL record for most player transactions in an offseason.
Mhm.
So I would love to see just like crazy turnover to see like what Mike Mack is looking for. I don't think the Seahawks are anywhere near competing for like a Super Bowl in the next year or two.
Really? I mean, I think they're pretty close, though. I mean, maybe Geno might not be the guy, but like...
the thing is, I think Geno is the best player on the Seahawks offense.
Mhm.
I think... I don't even know that it's a bold take to say that. I think it's like...
Metcalf is pretty good when he gets open. I mean...
Metcalf is such a lazy route runner.
That's what I'm saying. When he gets open.
and like, it's so easy to get into his head, too. Like, all a player has to be is like, hey,
Talk
Dumbo,
trash.
and he'll be like, what? You call me Dumbo? And like you take him out for like 3 drives, and it's that simple. I mean, I think JSN is going to be a revelation for the Seahawks, but I'm happy to see that we moved to a new offensive coordinator. I think like Kubiak can really help kind of streamline what our offense can be, and it'll be interesting to see what the product looks like come like week 4, week 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the problem is it's like the Rams are likely only going to get better this offseason. The 49ers are absolutely only going to get better this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cardinals are the Cardinals. So, I mean, like, realistically, I could see just like another 9-8 team from the Seahawks
Let's go.
happen this year. And just like, which is like the worst place to be in the NFL. It's like you're in NFL purgatory if you're just like a perennial 500 team. So,
I always wish teams to be mid and not awful.
Yeah, like it's kind of like a weird spot for the Seahawks because despite the last couple of years being called rebuild years, like they just were mid seasons that were anchored by a bad offensive line. Like bottom line is it's the offensive line is the worst part about this team, and if they don't address it in a successful way, then it's going to be a long 2025 for Seahawks fans.
Okay, before you get to my question, I just got to say, Chicken, I wanted to stop you and say there's got to be someone better on that Seahawks team than Geno Smith, and I thought about it.
I was thinking the same
There's-
thing.
I
There's
can't
not.
think of
There's
not.
anyone
It's
outside
not.
of wide receiver.
I'm telling you, it is the correct sentence.
I'm trying to
Like,
think
damn,
of
he's
like
right.
I was trying to think about a defensive player, and it's like, wait, who's that guy on defense?
I mean, like, you could argue Spoon and I would say Leonard Williams is probably the best overall player on the team.
Witherspoon's
and-
pretty good though, right?
Witherspoon's good.
He's just younger, but he's solid.
Witherspoon's good, and I think the corner
Rollins pretty good too.
Yeah,
Like-
Tariq Woolen's good too.
like to go like a baseball term, I would say Witherspoon and Williams are like the prospect guys, like your best prospects of the future.
But Geno's been putting the team on his back for like 3 straight years now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like crazy enough. Like Geno, I mean, these last 3 years of Geno compared to the last 3 years of Russ in Seattle,
Mhm.
Geno's got more yards.
I'll give Geno
Geno
this.
Geno
He
set the
loves that
passing yard
city.
record for the Seahawks season
Right.
long.
I'll give Geno this. He loves that city. And he loves that team. I can't say the same about Russ. I cannot say the same about Russ at the end.
Yeah.
Russell
But
Wilson,
the second
you
thing I
are
was
a
gonna say-
Raider.
The second thing I was gonna say is that if Kubiak's anything like his dad, he's going to be a great head coach in a few years. I
believe
tell.
it.
Like, oh, I would love for him to coach the Texans one day, just like his dad, except under better circumstances.
Yeah,
Sure.
definitely. Now, the last question I have for you, Bill, before I move on to 11 and Naples teams, is this the year that DK gets traded?
Ooh.
Here's the thing. I love DK Metcalf. I think DK Metcalf does things that no other players in the NFL can do.
Mhm.
I think that is a true sentence, but I also think that DK Metcalf is just a more talented George Pickens at times.
Holy shit,
I
Mr.
I-
Chicken. Are
I
you saying
think-
he's a potential bad wide receiver?
don't even think he's a potential but he's like, let me think of a player who, because like he's built like Megatron, right? And like
Mhm.
so like, obviously his ceiling is great, but like he's in year like 7 or 8 in the NFL now.
Mhm.
Like, and if he hasn't like broken out as like a true one, because I'd argue that he has not broken out as a true one
He really
during
hasn't.
his career.
Hmm.
Like, he's had games where he's dominated, and that's undeniable. But he's never been consistent. He's got the dropsies like crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say he's like closer to Dorial Green Beckham than he
Don't
is to
mind me.
Megatron. Like, that's crazy work. But I mean, like, if Seattle ended up moving on, I think you could get good value
Mhm.
for trading away DK Metcalf. And honestly, like, we have an aging wide receiver core outside of JSN. No one's sure, like, if Tyler Lockett's coming back. Like, if we moved DK, and even if it was just for, like, draft capital, and we ended up spending some serious, like, capital on, like, a wide receiver,
Mhm.
it wouldn't be an interior offensive lineman, and I would be so mad. I would be so mad.
I'll tell you this: you ain't trading for one. Nobody's giving up any good
that
offensive linemen.
that being said, I don't think DK Metcalf goes anywhere this offseason. I think he'll stay.
Yeah, I could see it. I think mid-season, though, if they're far enough below that, I could definitely be an option.
If the Seahawks are like out of contention early next season, I could see them moving them.
DK, you are
Absolutely.
a chief.
Especially if they
Oof.
lose Geno. If they lose Geno in the beginning of the
Yeah,
season.
100%. Because Sam Howell's going to take us to the dumpster land.
Yep. We'll go with 11 next because Naples' team needs a lot of help everywhere.
I can't even answer that question, honestly. What do they
11.
need to go to the playoffs?
Yeah.
A rehole.
You need to do a Herschel Walker trade.
Yeah.
The ultimate scam of the century,
Right.
and just rob a team of all their picks. Actually, you know what? There is a perfect team. Trade to the Panthers.
Yeah, there you go.
You'll have like the number 1 and the number 2 pick overall, easy.
Yeah. 11. What do the Texans have to do this season to get over that hump?
I've been saying it. Get a good offensive coordinator. We fired Slowick, so that's great. Chip Kelly was apparently Chip Kelly never wanted to play with us, so I guess whatever.
It's not a bad thing.
But there's got to be somebody else that might be potentially good. Just like Chicken said, invest in the goddamn offensive line because apart.
Yeah, you guys have a bad O-line too.
I want to say Tunsil's starting to look washed because he keeps pulling flags out, man. He keeps calling false starts all the time. I feel like the problem with this team is not as great as D'Amico Ryans has been as a head coach. One thing I notice is he does not give these guys any real discipline. Like it's nice to let your personality show, but goddamn, these guys sometimes they get too into it. You saw one of them, what's his name? Shove, the special teams coach. That is pathetic. You can't. I mean, you're lucky that's not a flag because it wasn't on the field, but it's pathetic. You got to do better than that.
Yeah,
like that's why I think what's his name for the Lions is such a great coach because yes, he is emotional and he lets his players get emotional, but he also knows when it's time to lock it in.
Yeah.
And
he's a leader of men more than he is an X's and O's guy, and
he is what Big Ben thinks he is.
Yeah,
Captain Fat Fuck, leader of men. Yeah, like I'm not saying D'Amico Ryans is not like a leader type. Like he definitely can rally the troops. This is a guy I want to rally the troops, but there's got to be someone in there that can keep everybody's heads cool. And remember, we're professionals. This is not college ball.
Yeah.
Because I feel like some of these guys, it feels like a bit of a frat bro party. And we know what happened the last time the Texans wore Letterman jackets to a game.
No.
Ask JJ. I love that man too.
Yeah.
But yeah, get on a new offensive coordinator, get some offensive line help. Oh, draft one. That would be good. Some say we need to draft a wide receiver. I can understand that, but you could do that in the second round or third round. It's fine.
Yeah, that's not a first round priority.
Yeah, like offensive linemen, I've got to go, and I'm pretty sure Chicken's gonna rob me of the offensive lineman I want in the draft since he's ahead of me.
Yeah, I mean you got to look at the Eagles. They got Jordan Mailata, and he was a 6th round guy that they got for offensive line.
Yeah.
So.
Listen, whoever's like in charge of your guys like O-line scouting though actually knows how to scout O-lines.
Yeah, Stoutland.
There was a period of time where Seattle put the most number of draft picks into offensive linemen over like a 7-year window and just had the worst, just missed on every single guy.
I feel like you could have been given Penei Sewell and you still would have fucked him up.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yep.
We would draft Penei Sewell and he would be on a practice squad by the end of the season.
Week one. Yeah, Jeff Stoutland's hell of a offensive line coach.
A Pokemon?
Yeah. Yeah, he just
the guy's got that dog in him, you know?
Yep.
Literally.
Right. Now, here comes a sad one. Napalm, who is our New York Giants fan. They need
Mark Sessler of the group.
Yeah.
What's the hump?
What? I'll ask you the opposite way. What
even count? What constitutes as the hump? 6 wins? Give me 6 wins.
What do the Giants have that actually works well for them that they don't need to fix this offseason?
We flipped it. Oh, okay.
I know your whole team needs help after that.
Dude, I need this guy to cook. Let him cook. Soccer, pull back your punches. Ask him the real question. Let this man cook.
All right.
I was about to say everything 11 has said essentially, basically. But what? Okay, things they do well. Things they do well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shut that.
Have you guys watched the Giants game?
I've
watched 2.
Listen, I watched one Giants game this year, and goddamn it!
And we actually beat the Seahawks somehow.
Yeah, it was the worst game I ever saw from the Seahawks.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't know if I told Chicken that, but I thought watch this ruin the Giants draft. It was the Colts one that ultimately did it, but that helped.
Yep.
All right, things they do well. Their wide receiver room. They've built that up relatively well. I like the guys in there. The D-line is phenomenal, actually.
I feel like you guys always like low key have a D line, even
When
if
you
the
lost
rest of the team
Dexter
is bad.
Lawrence,
There was a
when you
certain
lost-
time when we didn't really have one, but now they have Thibodeau. They wouldn't trade for Brian Burns. Oh, it's back. It's definitely back. But everything else is failing. Everything
Hey,
else.
what about Dexter though? He was good till he got
on
hurt.
D line? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence, Thibodeau,
Yeah, you mentioned
Brian
Thibodeau, you didn't
Burns.
say
I like
Dexter.
those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys.
Secondary is in shambles. Running
To be fair,
game
whose
is
isn't?
true, but running game is hit or miss. We don't have a quarterback.
I actually think
you
the
don't
running
have a
back
running
is
game. If only you paid a running back that you
We
drafted.
don't gotta get into
Not
this.
for nothing. The running
No,
back that you
if
guys
I don't
started
do it,
this year was
soccer would
solid.
do it.
Yeah,
I know
Tracy-
this man.
Yeah, Tracy's actually pretty solid. Tracy Jr.
Yeah,
I don't know
he's
where the heck
not
we got
bad.
him, but
Yeah.
he's pretty solid. But most teams have two running backs, and we have barely one. That's what I mean. We definitely don't have a quarterback. If the Seahawks have the 32nd interior line, we might have like 29 or 30. I mean, it's really that bad. Yeah.
Listen, if you guys roll with Drew Lock into next season,
Oh my gosh.
you just don't have legally you don't have to watch Giants.
I won't.
games
I
next year.
won't.
Like, this is-
promise you I won't.
This is like the same territory that like the Cowboys fans are in with like Schottenheimer. One of my buddies is a Cowboys
got
fan, and I'm like,
question.
listen, you don't
I
have
got a
to do this
question
to
for
yourself.
Napum, are you a general New York sports fan, or you just like the Giants, and or you're like soccer?
No, all New York. Knicks.
So give me your specifics from the major sports, if you can.
Give me my what?
Like all
Who are your
teams.
teams?
Give me your teams.
Who are my
Yeah.
teams? Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely Giants, Knicks. When I'm paying attention to baseball, it's Yankees. That's why
Ooh.
you were like Aaron
Oh,
Judge. I'm
Altuve's
like,
your
damn,
daddy.
I see.
Altuve's your daddy.
Yeah,
All right, and
but those three teams, yeah.
No,
No, not hockey. I haven't watched.
Okay,
any
I was
hockey
gonna
yet.
say, like, if you like the Mets, like
Yeah.
it's like the Mets are finally coming up, and then
Yeah.
the Giants are coming down. My friend Christy and Chicken here, Mets fans. Now they got something to be happy about.
Yeah,
But at
they're
what cost?
finally building that team up. Yeah.
Yeah, but at what cost? Christie's Giants are getting worse by the day.
Yep.
So trust me, you're
By
not
the
the only
minute.
one I hear complain about this.
Oh my gosh,
I was gonna say you might have like a one door opens while the other closes type of situation.
It
like
really
but
feels
no.
like New York teams are either a top 5 team or a bottom 3 team. There is no middle ground.
It's
You're
This
either
can't
a-
be mediocre. They
Yeah,
have to
there's
be
no-
terrible or in
They're
playoff
either-
contention. I hate it.
Yeah, there's never just like a mid New York team. They're always either great or just complete ass.
Hey, look at the
Unwatchable.
Jets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at the Giants. Look at the Jets. They're always
Absolutely
either bad or
unwatchable.
great.
like
Yeah.
or worse, they're too good to not miss the playoffs, so they get in and just get bounced by a real
Right.
team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Exactly.
so continue.
Yeah.
Oh, continue. What else do you want to hear about the Giants? They
How much do you pay your therapist for being a Giants fan?
I'm pretty
Not
sure
enough.
your therapist is sitting there with you.
Yo, let me tell you, they won 3 games this year, and they might win 3 games next year. Like, I don't. What changes can they make in this offseason to alleviate the problems they have? They can't make enough
I
changes.
mean, literally comes down to the quarterback.
The quarterback, the O line, the secondary, like I said, the coaching, the GM. I don't know what they can do. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll see.
Well, they did say Sanders is on their big board for grabbing
Yeah,
him
but
at
we
quarterback.
fell because we won a game against the Colts. So
Yeah.
now I'm almost positive the Raiders pick him.
Well, you got the Titans at 1, the Browns at 2, and you guys at 3, I think, right?
No, we're like 4, I think. I thought
Oh. Well,
it was like another team.
I'm telling you right now, you're gonna have hope because I guarantee this situation's gonna happen.
yeah.
My guy playing for my Longhorns is going to
Let's
be
see.
in the draft in a couple of years, and of fucking
Oh,
course,
Arch?
he's gonna go play with one of the teams.
Yes.
His uncle, but yeah, I
Oh, yeah.
hate to say it, Arch, you are a giant just like your
100%.
uncle.
I
And
hope
you
so.
know
But,
the NFL will make sure that happens, bro.
but
You
based on what the
know
GM
it.
is doing right now, I kind of feel like he's going to draft
That's
a
what I'm
quarterback.
telling you. Endure
Yeah.
it and try for Arch Manning. I can't say he'll be as great as Peyton, but if he's anything at least like Eli level, you'll have something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you won with Eli.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, if they
Despite
can't,
everything.
go
It
ahead.
would be
You're good.
fucking funny if Arch Manning comes in and beats Mahomes in a derpy fashion, like how Eli
Yeah.
beat Brady. I
Yeah.
won't lie, I would actually kind of root for that. I mean, I love Arch Manning as I do now, but you know,
Yeah. The Giants are number 3, Cleveland Browns number 2,
Oh,
and
there are
Tennessee
3.
are number 1.
Okay.
Yep.
yeah, you're
Yep.
not getting a quarterback. Which, like, I don't even do it, man. This is not a good year for it anyway.
Yeah, if we can't get
Yeah.
Shador, then I'd say just go get Sam Darnold
Jump.
for a year. Just
Right.
wait. Like, there's no. Yeah, I don't like any of the other quarterbacks for the
Yeah.
most part.
See what happens.
Spend a year building the trenches and then
I-
get your kid.
I
Yep.
think soccer
Exactly.
had to ask this too because I know he enjoys seeing another. And
It's
if
so
he
nice.
team is-
Just in shambles.
yeah.
Just
I mean, he did before. I don't know if he invited
Oh,
me
shoot.
first, but he did try to invite Thrill House.
I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get a few people for this. And then it was like, well, I'm always giving him a hard time because he's a Cowboys fan, so it's like poke him with a stick,
God.
trying to get it.
No.
See what happens. Doesn't ever
Uh,
happen. But
All right, I got something in the chat for you guys. I mean, Chicken knows these. Behold,
Oh God.
oh yeah,
I've got
Yep.
something for each of you. Each
yep.
of you.
See, yeah, you got Cowboys, Giants.
Yeah, they're either we're
Everyone
either
is here.
hitting rock bottom or
So
we're still
facts.
fucking back.
oh
Yeah, no,
man,
that's-
this is
That
facts.
is literally. This is literally the cycle of
Yeah.
every sports.
This is
fan, let's be
Giants
real.
over the last 3 years. This is
Yep.
literally we're so
No.
back. We're the playoffs with the Vikings. Rock bottom.
We're so fucking back.
And if you're the Browns, you just are the left image
Yep.
forever.
Forever and ever.
Occasionally, you'll get a moment to like peek out, look at the sun, and then it's like door shut.
Like
Mhm.
how are the Browns just like they find
Don't get
new
it.
ways to just ruin everything
Hey.
always.
Browns
They have
finding
good
new
I'm
goal
not
coach. This is
Browns.
the worst
complaining.
part. Like I don't get it.
Right, Kevin Stefanski's
He's a
like
solid coach.
he's won Coach of the Year twice as the Browns coach.
Just getting lucky, like Nick Chubb
Weird.
being out and
Chicken.
Deshaun
Like,
Watson. Like,
Injuries
just
for sure, and
Yeah.
Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson. Like
I've yet to see how this is my fault or my problem.
Massage tables.
So hey, at least Deshaun D's nuts Watson is not going to be suffering alone in the chamber.
Right. There
You
you
can
go.
have Justin Tucker to share a cell with while
Sure.
they play for the all-prison NFL team.
So, let's see. It's only been about hour and 45 minutes. We've been live.
We're picks. Yeah, right.
And
the Super Bowl episode, folks.
yeah,
We're-
it's Super Bowl
Oh
episode.
yeah, we're
Now,
talking
got
about
there.
before we
everything
get
but
to
the
the
Super Bowl. And then Soccer's like, Josh,
Ironic.
why are you gonna ask that question?
Shit.
Why are you trying to push for the Super Bowl?
Ironically, are any of you going to pick or doing the Super Bowl prop bets that you can make this season?
I don't bet on
You
sports.
could bet on
Yo, prop bets
Yeah.
are like some of the most
what
like
exactly? Like
what?
so,
like what color is the Gatorade gonna
Yep.
be? What?
wait,
Yep.
stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can bet on that stuff. It's
That-
Are you
crazy.
serious?
Fuck,
Yeah.
man.
That's serious.
What?
That's
Yeah.
serious. People like the over under for the national anthem is a
Yep.
big one.
Yeah, it's at 120.5 seconds right now is the over-under on that.
This country is fucking doomed, man.
Oh, I mean, but like people have been betting on this
Honestly,
for years.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, but you bet your ass Prize Picks is gonna be like, hey guys, let's bet on what
Listen.
color underwear Patrick
there's-
Mahomes is gonna wear.
If there's one thing I could change about sports media is I would banish all sports betting talk. I think it is the number
they should-
one thing
yeah.
that is harming the
Why-
sports product in general.
Why do you think they want they want a team in every sport to be in Vegas now?
Yeah.
Once it became legal, the floodgates opened. Remember, Las Vegas has always been like the forbidden city. We can never have a sports team there. Think of the consequences of sports gambling, and then they got a taste. Like,
But the problem is, like, a lot of like sports talk that you hear about like these days, like even like sports radio, nothing's bet like nothing is like spoken regarding like players and schemes. Everything's like based around like betting line.
Yeah.
Like everybody's
It's
like,
over 100 yards this game. is he going to
It's-
get 2 touchdowns, or you think he's going to get less?
That was the analysis is turned into just essentially talking about statistics. Kind of
Yeah.
annoying
Right.
sometimes.
And they're like, is Isaiah
The
Pacheco
schemes and
actually going to get 20 yards?
yeah.
Yeah.
I only am fine with using statistics when you're like comparing player A to player B. Like, how many yards do they have this year? What's their average yards per catch or yards after the catch? Stuff like that. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But when you're like, hey, soccer, do you think Jalen Hurts is going to get 2 tush pushes in the Super Bowl? Like, we're not gonna say, is he gonna get what you should be asking? Is he gonna get more
Over
than 2
under.
touchdowns? But I'm saying specifically tush pushes because I bet your ass there's a bet on that.
Yeah.
100%. I think
Yeah.
if I were to put an over-under on tush pushes this game, I would probably put it at 3.5.
Yeah.
Oh my
That'd be a safe bet.
God. I hate it here.
Yeah.
There's some great bets though. They have how many times they'll show Taylor Swift during the Super Bowl.
Taylor Swift.
How many times? How long Kendrick Lamar gets on stage before getting yanked off?
dude, I would call him. I would be not mad if he just finished not like us, left, and then popped back up to do it again.
Guarantee you there's a bet on like how many times the camera pans over to Taylor Swift.
Yep.
That's one. I know that's one. I bet you that's one.
If Drake is gonna be will show up at the halftime show is one. If Humble's played first, or if
Live.
I'm gonna say set list is absolutely a thing that people bet on.
Yeah. It's insane the weird bets right now. But we are have 2 final teams, Eagles, Chiefs, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
Bill, start with you.
Yep.
Give me your Super Bowl pick and one item that the winning team has to do, or one either player or something that offensive team or the winning team needs to do in the Super Bowl to win.
I think the final score is going to be Chiefs 34, Eagles 30. I think the Chiefs get their three-peat. The Chiefs will also 34 points, believe it or not, highest score all season for the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
But it is going to be a situation where I think Spags' defense is going to end up forcing 1 or 2 turnovers, just like they did 2 years ago, and I think that's going to be the difference maker in this matchup. I think it's going to come close, and I think what's going to happen is like they'll go up. It'll be just like last time too. Like they'll go up with like 2 minutes left, and Philly will have 2 minutes to being down 4 to drive the field and score, and they'll just fall short somehow. I just that's how I see it playing out. And I think that Travis Kelce breaks up with Taylor Swift, and everybody cheers. No, I'm just kidding. He proposes to her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the key to victory really is just going to be that defense forcing the Eagles into mistakes that they really haven't made a ton of all season.
I mean, they've been making mistakes. I don't think teams have.
Listen, I think Jalen Hurts, the player, versus Jalen Hurts, the quarterback. Jalen Hurts, the player,
is amazing.
Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, needs to show up for this game if the Eagles want a chance to win, because Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, did not show up against Green Bay. I don't care what anybody says. Jalen Hurts was terrible in that Green Bay game. That was just a bad game from Jalen Hurts. Obviously, he was phenomenal against Washington.
Yeah. I don't think he was that good against Washington, to be honest with you. I mean, he was.
I think Jalen Hurts, the passer, was much better against Washington than he was against Green Bay. So Jalen Hurts, the passer, needs to show up big, and if he can't, then I don't see a path to the Eagles getting a victory, really.
The funny thing is, Napalm, this is the first time that the Chiefs will actually play against Saquon. The last couple times they played against Saquon, or against the Giants.
You might want to repeat all that.
Yeah, you cut out there.
Oh,
yeah.
My bad. All right, so the Chiefs have not played against Saquon yet. This will be their first time playing Saquon.
Yeah.
The last time that they played the Giants, Saquon was injured both games that they played against. So, do you think that'll be that Saquon's going to be a big star or a big, I guess, piece that the Chiefs will try and stop, or you think they're going to try and have try and stop the pass more?
This is for me or for Bill?
For you.
Okay. I think they're going to load the box. I think they're going to force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball. I mean, and I think he's going to be able to. I personally think that the Eagles are going to win this game. We'll see how that goes because both these teams' defenses are pretty stacked. So I think it's going to come down to that. But I think the Eagles' offense. I mean, yes, Jalen Hurts has to play well, but like the offense has a lot of playmakers. Even on the offensive line, like it's. I think that they have the better players. So
I think top to bottom, I think that the Eagles have a better roster than the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I fully agree with that.
quarterback.
I mean, quarterback and head coach make a world of difference.
That too. Yeah.
Now, Levin, do you see any way that the Chiefs do lose this game?
Oh, and here I was hoping you just straight up ask me who I think wins.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that point.
The only way they lose. I'm not sure. They have to make mistakes, and the Chiefs have to actually capitalize on it, because that's the reason why the other two teams couldn't really beat them, because they didn't capitalize on those mistakes well enough. With the Bills game, capitalizing on one of them at minimum ties the game, and at best we would have a different Super Bowl. Wait, did the Eagles play the Bills before? I think they did, right?
The Eagles, I think,
dismantled them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So we would have had a Super Bowl rematch either way, but it would have been a much more interesting one. But yeah,
yeah, we almost played the same three teams 3 times.
I think the Eagles dog walked the Ravens too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We almost played 3 straight teams that we played in the regular season. If the Ravens had won, we would have played all 3. Oh, if the Ravens too.
Yeah.
Which would be cool.
So that's pretty much the key. You got to capitalize on any mistakes that Mahomes makes, which he's not going to make many. But if you keep up the pressure, and honestly, you got to just lock up Travis Kelce, because I don't mean any disrespect to some of those wide receivers, especially my boy Xavier Worthy or even Nuke, but he's really the one you got to cover, because every time the other 2 games, it looked like, oh, they're going to get him this time. This might be it. Travis Kelce is somehow magically open every time.
It's a scheme thing, like, because most defenses right now run these like cover 2 shells, and that ends up leaving just like the middle of the field wide open, because the way these offenses are set up, they just kind of like pull everybody to the sides. And
Eagles kind of do it too, though.
It's going to be such a fun offensive matchup, because I think they both do very similar things. I think the biggest advantage that the Eagles have is they are bigger home run hitters. Like, they definitely are, like, they have the more like explosive play ability.
For sure. For sure.
So it'll be really interesting, because like the Chiefs are like the most nickel and dime offense out there. Like, it'll be death by 1,000 paper cuts on every single drive with them.
Yeah.
And it's really going to come down to these like third downs. Like, if Philly can get a couple of third down stops, they might be able to, keep things in their favor, and vice versa. Like, because the Eagles play with 4 downs.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? The Chiefs play with 4 downs too. Like, that's just what today's NFL is. And, these are 2 of the top 3 teams on like 4th down conversion percent on the regular season. I think the Bills are like number 1 or number 2. So really, like, 3 of the top 4 4th down teams are, in the 4 final teams. And it kind of makes sense. Like, especially given how successful they were.
Yeah.
So it's really it's like I said, when I said 34-30, like, it's gonna be a close game. It really is.
Yeah. Do you how many yards? Yeah, I guess I'll ask each of y'all. How many yards do you think Saquon needs to get to cover, like, if Hurts has a bad game to actually get him a win?
I don't see. Like, I don't think like raw yards is a good statistic to
I
measure
don't think it
something
is
like
either.
that.
Yeah.
I think honestly, like, I think if Philly goes down 2 scores, they're in a tough spot.
Oh, if they go down 1 score, it's probably
Right. It like
they're going to start
like
throwing the ball.
Philly is absolutely built to play with a lead.
Mhm.
100%.
So if Philly can like get up early
Mhm.
and because like the Chiefs have kind of been like a slow start team this season and like kind of always
Mhm.
Mhm.
like if they can get to halftime with a lead and play with that lead, it will be incredibly advantageous to them. Because once it becomes we have to rely on Jalen Hurts, the passer,
Mhm.
that's when you're going to start opening up the Spags Blitz playbook,
Yeah.
and it's going to be tough sledding.
Mhm.
Yes, you have AJ Brown. Yes, you have Devonta Freeman. Yes, you have or not Devonta Freeman. Oh my God,
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith. Jeez, and like even Dallas got it. Like you have great weapons, but like can Jalen make those plays?
Exactly
Because I
that.
think that's absolutely going to be like Jalen is the X factor of this game.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. I'm actually the one player I've been thinking about that I'm like kind of like if he could be that safety net that Jalen needs, but we just haven't used him like that is Johan Dotson. We haven't he kind of shows spurts through the year,
Mm.
but he hasn't been
Mm.
like he could, definitely be that slot guy we need at that point where, if he's third down and short, third down and 6 and just get Johan Dotson the ball and, let him go somewhere with it. Kind of like what we have with Jason Avant a few years back, but like we need instead of trying to
And
go for the
Jalen
long
hit
read.
a third read.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I would
Yeah.
I would save it. I would have, I mean, you obviously have AJ probably as your first read and Devontae as your second read, and then Johan is your, probably fourth read at that point because Dallas Goddard will probably be your third. But I'd still, try and get Johan the ball as much as possible. Kind of make them think, and then at that point, I mean, if you're getting low and they're coming trying to get to him, you can see that, this is who we're running with, and then that's when you throw it over the top to either, AJ Brown or Devontae Smith and try and get him going. But
Docker, I got a question for you.
yeah,
What's your score prediction for this game?
well, Eagles do have one of the best defenses in the league. If we can get the offense going, I predicted a couple weeks ago, actually in your let's see, in our picks, I forget exact score, but I think it's definitely gonna be close. You could see it, being as low as 28-21 and as high as like 42 to
Mhm.
35. So it
Wow.
just
40
depends.
points.
I could see 40.
I can
Yeah.
absolutely see like a barn burner of this game.
Yeah.
I'm honestly
Okay.
expecting a barn burner.
Because both of these teams, their defenses are much more. They're very bend don't break, and I
Mhm.
feel like they're much more just like opportunistic than they are
Also true.
shut down.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, if like this game to me feels like the Patriots and Eagles a few years back, where in the Super Bowl where Foles was our starting quarterback, people weren't sure how if he was going to show up, if he's going to be the Foles that we see in the Minnesota game, or if he was going to be the Foles that we saw in the Atlanta Falcons game. And then if the offense or
That
the
right there.
defense at that point can get to Brady at that point, or now Mahomes. Can the defense get to him? Can they get some sacks on Mahomes to make him think about stuff? Make him cause mistakes and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So I feel like this is the exact same setup as what we had with the Eagles Patriots a few years back. But we will see.
I have a similar prediction actually.
Okay.
What's your score prediction?
Oh, I was more so saying how the game's gonna play out. I haven't really thought about a score prediction. I think it's going to play very similar to the first bout against one another.
Same here.
A little
Yeah.
back and forth.
Whoever has the ball last.
Yep. So, like, I feel like when I look at everything, I can easily understand why you could say that the Eagles on paper have everything in their favor. Offense, defense, and maybe special teams.
Our special teams has been showing up pretty well this year, which
Not
is
even counting
surprising.
kickers, because I think the kickers are about the same. Like, if you could hit in the clutch moments, which both those guys can do, then I'm talking about like punt returns, getting those extra yards, or even punting it to a very advantageous spot, like within the 10. That's great. It's
Yeah.
going to come down to having situations like that, hitting down in bad spots or taking it back to a good spot or for a good gain. And I could see this going back and forth, maybe being a one-score game, like a 3-point lead or a 2-point lead at the end of the first half. But and it's going to come down to that exact same situation. I feel like that the Eagles are going to score first, or score near the end, give about a minute left, or even like 30 seconds. Unfortunately, plenty of time. That's plenty of time for Mahomes. And I wouldn't be surprised if, just like last time, little bit of questionable reffing happens, because has it been a regular NFL season without a little questionable calls or non-calls by the refs?
Not really. No, it's
Especially
been
with the
weird.
in question.
Yeah.
I've been saying this just because I want to say easily. I've been saying it all like this whole year that the refs are going to help them every single time, but
I
it
think
doesn't
people
even matter. They're just incompetent. Like, they're just straight up incompetent at this point.
I think people get more nitpicky about flags the higher the profile the game gets. So, like, I don't know. Like, I think because, like, especially like even looking at last week's game or 2 weeks ago now, Kansas City and Buffalo. Like, everybody's harping on this fourth down, and really, there was literally the play right before the fourth down. The Bills on third down, in my opinion, converted. And instead of the Bills challenging that spot,
they ran a play. Yeah,
they ran a play as quickly as they could, and it was such a honestly, this is gonna sound crazy. I think the Bills need to move on from their coach. I don't think that he's a good enough coach.
You're not alone with that sentiment, by the way.
The Bills have been like a successful team, but like that's on Josh Allen more than it is on the head coach there.
So, and what I'm trying to get at is, look, I know there's a lot of talk about reffing or umpiring and all the other sports, and they're bad. Like I've talked about the other day to another friend about how the NBA has its own ref problems. The regular season too.
100%.
Too many technicals, maybe not calling a technical when they should have, stuff like that. But it's like the problem with that argument, Chicken, in my opinion, is that this is the playoffs. We're supposed to be getting the best referees selected. And yet Ed Hockley is fucking turning in his bed right now, seeing how bad his son is as a ref.
Fair.
Soccer, he was helping you, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't be smiling. But anyway, the fact that we are getting a worse and worse product, yet the ratings keep going up, upsets me. And that's why no change is being done. There's no reason to change.
They have
everyone's still watching.
I believe they have announced that they are going to be testing electronic spotting next season, though. Like, I think that's already
good.
That solves only one problem. That is like a little band-aid on a bunch of gaping wounds.
Sure, but like if we can just get accurate spots on every play,
I know.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
That's great. That's just a great step, and I'm taking that. But it's like, but we got to do something about these bad calls or no calls.
Well,
I mean,
I feel like there just needs to be like changes to some of the rules.
And you can't even hold these guys accountable,
something.
because if you say, I think that ref was wrong, you get fined by the NFL. Like, how dare you speak about them? You have to think about their feelings. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
I agree with that part where it's like
That's every
I
sport too.
I think
Yeah.
players should be allowed to complain about officiating.
It's one thing if they say something like, "I hate that guy. I hope he dies." Sure, that's not nice,
Yeah,
but
no.
if I think he made a bad call. End of story. It's pretty obvious when you look at it. Okay, it's his opinion, and it's not harming this guy. Like you're telling me you got to protect this guy's feelings,
Mhm.
but you won't even protect like the player's own health. Now you want to claim you do. I mean, good job with the new helmets. That's great, but a little too
Yeah, but
late
the
for
thing
that.
is, even with the new helmets, it's like
Yeah,
1 in 15 players even wears the helmets.
I know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But
literally, Tua refuses to wear the helmet because
and he needs it.
he like
Get
he like think it looks dorky or something. He's
oh
like,
my gosh.
Dude,
Like-
he needs to be put in the bubble. What's that movie, Bubble Boy? Put him in that.
Jesus, like
Hey.
Tua's gonna, yeah, like
Anyway,
he-
just like the fact of the matter is, these refs have not been getting any better. They've been getting far worse, and nobody's holding them accountable because the union will not stand for
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
They don't-
where's the dignity of the game? You're gonna talk about we love the sanctity of our game. We want everything to be like fair. We want these games to be great, but you're not. You're frustrating everybody. For God's sakes, even the announcers all know you're wrong.
I think there's a double-edged sword here because I think what's happening, and this comes with technology, right? Like, if you think about football games like 20, 30 years ago, and you think about the way the game is viewed today, I mean, like, we have, 15 different angles of almost every single play. We're able to see, like, pinpoint, okay, this is the millisecond that he loses control of the ball.
Yeah.
Like, things like that. Like, so it becomes a lot more like with a lot of these calls, a lot of them end up being like ticky tack in the sense where like they could go either way, or
Mhm.
not enough evidence, yada yada. But like, back in the day, it's like you got a bad spot, you just got a bad spot. Like,
Yeah.
like
Just gotta take it.
so, like Steve fumbled the ball, but like no, he actually didn't. But
Which
like,
is
the refs,
why. Oh my bad. Go ahead. You're finished.
No.
Finish your point.
No, I mean, I'm just like, it's like, just because technology is coming so far, we're able to see these things under a microscope more. So I don't think that they are new problems. I think that they're just older, like, problems that have been
Issues.
around for a long time, but like, because we see them more, and social media, also influences that as well, because you see, people posting about, these plays ad nauseum during the games. It's like that. I think it's not as big a problem. Like, if social media didn't exist, I don't think it'd be as big a problem as
It is.
that people make it out to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
'cause
why I'm a proponent for like rewriting some of these rules. Because would you guys, when that one catch that they called a catch that I thought was a pick during the Bills Chiefs game?
That's
That should have
What
been
do you guys think
an incomplete pass.
the fact that they
exactly
not
that.
only didn't call it
Incomplete pass.
incomplete, but it says, hey, we're gonna give it to the Chiefs instead. And then you wonder why people think that the game's rigged for them. Whether it's rigged or not is not the problem here. The fact that even people are considering that's a possibility is a problem.
You know what? The thing is, field judges don't see everything, and it's still crazy to me that we don't have like a sky judge that's able to be like, actually,
Yeah, it's a long field.
call is like this.
No.
For God's sakes, even
Like-
the XFL has one of those.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, look at say Rams from 6 years ago, like the blatant pass interference that was just like a no call.
Yeah.
Like, things like that should be allowed to be challenged on the field, either by a sky judge or by a head coach.
Mhm.
There was a play where an offensive lineman for the Chiefs clearly grabbing a Bills defensive lineman by his arm. He's got his arm like, dude, he's grabbing me. Ref seeing it, not throwing it. But you flip that around, you bet your ass they're calling that on the Bills offensive lineman. It's like, where is the consistency? But
That's the other half. It's like,
come on, dude.
It feels like these calls are not one to one. So
I agree.
I understand that.
The last thing I want to say is that I'm going to give you an example here. In baseball, there's this account called the umpire cards or something like that, where they keep track of the games that happen, and they see like, okay, they look at the strike zones, like, was this called actually a strike? Was it a ball? And they give them a rating, right? You know what happens when MLB found out about this? The umpires union blocked that Twitter account, and they don't want to see them ever. They didn't like imagine if we did something like that for refs. What do you think the NFL's ref union is gonna do when they see shit like that? They're gonna block it. Like, oh no, how dare you hold us accountable? How dare you call out our mistakes, our feelings?
Very true.
That's just that's pathetic.
Except we kind of already do that, right?
I know you do, but I'm saying you see what that's just an example of another sport, and there's someone that's consistently saying, "Hey, you did not call a great game." Like, what's that? I'm forgetting that asshole from the bad umpire, the one that finally retired.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Who? Blakeman.
No,
I don't like him either.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't come down to a referee. That's all I care about.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Jeff Triplett was always a pain in the ass
anyway,
too.
Just to conclude, Angel Hernandez was the guy I was thinking of.
Yeah, Angel Hernandez. I forgot. Okay.
So anyway, I've got the Chiefs. I'm not picking against them until otherwise. Why should I?
You should have a reason.
I have a reason, but every time I do, they fucking win.
That's also true.
Either I win to get my pick'em score looking nice and good, or I'm wrong, and I'm happy that they fucking lost. But
so
until the Wicked Witch is dead.
Yeah, it's like how.
I mean, it's look at the Patriots over the last 25 years during the Brady era.
Why would you not
pick them? You can't bet against Tom Brady. So you can't bet against
every
Patrick
time
Mahomes.
someone made a personal mention of him, he took it personally. It was like a Jordan moment. I took that personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So what would your final score be then, Levin?
I don't know.
Make one up. Make one up.
Yeah. I will say that Eagles have allowed only 18 points per game, and the Chiefs, I looked it up, have allowed 24 points per game.
38-35.
38,
I can see it. I can see it.
I get that. All right. Yeah.
And Napum, what's your final score?
Mine is 27-24 Eagles, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Field goal to win it?
Field goal, no, actually, you know what's funny enough? I actually don't have field goal to win it. I actually have Eagles scoring. Patrick Mahomes getting stopped. I know you guys are saying that. I mean, yeah.
I want it to happen.
And I'm also a proponent of whoever the ball last wins, but I'm not really a fan of the Chiefs' offense this year. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. The run game has looked lackluster. There's been times where he has no one to throw the ball to, so that's why he takes off and runs. So
I'll say this: the one thing that worries me about that is Vic Fangio's defense in crunch time.
They pursuit to the ball.
They're terrible in crunch time.
It's pretty
last 2 minutes.
That's what you mean.
Look at their game against the Rams. That they had no business almost losing that game. Just absolutely diabolical work. And if Vic Fangio's gonna take his feet off the gas and with a lead, then they're just gonna get cooked.
Yeah, we play prevent so often in 2 minute time period.
That's how Washington put so many points up last week.
That's what I'm saying. Teams pile up the points when you guys are in prevent defense. It's what are we preventing? We're preventing us from having a panic attack. Just kidding.
Preventing us from winning.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like preventing a 2-score win.
Yeah. I hope this year that our Cooper DeJean has a great game because I think he'll probably
he's got to, honestly.
Yeah.
Slay and Cooper DeJean are the two big question marks, but I mean Cooper's been playing really well, and then you got Reed Blankenship, who's been playing well, and Zach Bond, who nobody expected.
I think Zach Bond's been balling out.
Yeah.
The Eagles secondary, also their linebacking core, of course, but the Eagles secondary that they revamped this year, they've done a really good job.
Yeah,
I don't know how the GM does it, but he always fixes their problems every year.
Yeah.
They're a stacked defense. They just have great players at all three levels. And some of them are rookies and some of them are backups, but it's everybody's playing great ball. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just a really cohesive unit.
Yep.
Question is the scheme going to allow them to slow down Patrick Mahomes?
Mhm.
And
this is okay. Here's a question: is this Patrick Mahomes' biggest test?
I would
Because
say
I think
so.
this might be
Yeah, of the season, absolutely.
of the season for
of
sure.
the season. Yes.
Of the season for
Well, 2
sure.
seasons, maybe.
I think of all time, no.
Yeah. Of all the
Okay.
defenses this year that he's faced, only the Denver Broncos.
I
have
would
been
say-
challenging.
I would say even like last year's Niners team
Mhm.
was I think last year's Niner team was his biggest hurdle so far.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
I think
about
last
the
year's
same way
Niners
we-
team was like a super team as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he somehow beat that team. I don't know how he did that.
SpongeBob,
I mean, it took
SquarePants
OT,
ring.
but good lord,
OT to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
OT
Yeah.
to do it. I don't think this game goes to OT.
It would
And-
be pretty crazy, but
And the 49ers kind of lost that game by, playing that terrible defense in overtime.
Mhm.
Yeah, they
They had
also they didn't know the rules.
Yeah.
Like that's
Well,
just bad coaching.
well,
Yep.
chicken. They didn't know the rules, so did I.
But yeah,
They should hire you for the Niners.
let's see if Brock
No,
Purdy
I
has
would,
a good
I
year.
would give
No.
them up. I would absolutely give them up.
But I want to thank you guys for being on this podcast. I know it was a longer one, which we're just supposed to talk about the Super Bowl, but screw it, there was a lot of stuff going on. So
It was fun.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely get into it next year. I'm gonna do some with some people here. I'm gonna get as many people as I can, do some pick'ems every week. So
All right,
live.
bet.
Okay.
So be JDUB and Friends Pick'em or some. I'll think of some clever name for it that'll roll off the tongue. But if you do want to follow these gentlemen, Bill the Fajita is on Twitch. Bill the Fajita, obviously, and YouTube, Bill the Fajita. Anywhere
True.
else they can find you, Bill?
You can find me on Blue Sky, also at Bill the Fajita. And you can also find me at the local Glizzy joint because hot dogs are so good.
There you go. Levin, you can find him at twitch.tv/ is it Skyward Sword or Levin Lightsaber? I always mix it up.
Have a lightsaber.
All right. Yep. Levin Lightsaber. I was like, I always mix it up. I always want to say Skyward Sword. I'm like, or Skyward Shield. I'm like, nope.
No.
But are you on YouTube?
Yepers, baking fire in them videos again.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Nice, he says.
Nice parentheses. I hate Fire Emblem so much.
I hate fire in them fans specifically.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anywhere
you want
else?
to know where else? Oh,
Yeah, go ahead. Anywhere else you can find you?
I do have a Blue Sky. Barely use it as well. I have the Twitter as well, 11 Lightsaber, and I'm also at your mom's house.
Damn!
Yeah, really, that one's for you.
Got him.
I was holding that one in all
He's like, I'm
day.
so proud. I'm so happy. Set this
Clip
up
that.
perfectly.
Clip that. I need
That
to
one
give it-
sounded like you needed that one. Like that was
Right.
a personal win.
Yeah.
Soccer. You win the Super Bowl. I don't care. I just
Yep.
don't want Mahomes to win it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. Evil
Yeah.
Empire and such.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Napalm. I would say you're on Twitch, but I don't know how often you're on Twitch anymore. Is
Yeah,
there?
I've been on a hiatus for a bit, man.
Yeah.
But I'm still here. Yeah.
Yep. So Twitch TV or twitch.tv/Napalm, right?
Yep.
Anywhere else?
correct.
Anywhere else they find you?
At the moment, that is it.
All right.
Yep.
Hey, so hold up. You said Evil Empire. We got the Zoomer Evil Empire of the Dodgers, the Chiefs, and who would be the the Warriors. The Boomers one is the Yankees, Cowboys, and Lakers. How far have we fallen as a country?
Rough
Yeah.
times.
Yep.
Rough times.
But thank you all for watching this episode, and I'll be back soon with some. We'll see what comes next. All right. See y'all later.
Bye.
Deuces.